Welcome to my basement, everybody. This is something brand new for E3 2017. Here's my buddy Behr. He's Baruti is his own channel, and he's been working on EP stuff. And I asked him to come and join me with the stream today.
I'm excited, man. This is going to be so much fun. We're
Yes.
going to go through all of the E3 conferences together.
Yes.
Going to see our reactions.
Yep.
We're going to do pre-shows like this for you guys. And we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there might be guests that pop in here and there and stuff, and we're certainly going to be reading the chats. Hey, Doy. Hey, Happy Console Gamer. I know that you're busy doing your own stuff today. Michael Holden. Mayonnaise Oreo. That sounds disgusting, but great screen name. Evan Rudolph. Thank you, and all the others that are that have joined us today. Adrian, good to see you. George Christolou, Zethus Thorn, Evan Rudolph. I guess there's a lot of people that want to talk about E3 and video games, and it's starting today with the big EA presser, and it kicks off in about 20 minutes or so, just a little over 20 minutes.
23 minutes, yeah.
They might be a bit late. Sometimes the EA, the E3 pressers are a little bit late, and you just have to deal with it, but it's okay.
So let's talk about E3 and kind of their history through the press conferences.
Yep.
You know, we'll probably admit they're not, you know, the hardcore gamers' most anticipated press conferences every year, but they do have some of our favorite IPs.
Yeah.
You know, like Battlefront, you know, like
Battlefield.
Yes, the list goes on. There's so like even Need for Speed I'm actually excited for this year. Need for Speed Payback was just announced a week ago.
Yeah, so we know that we're going to see FIFA. We
Yes.
know that we're going to see Need for Speed Payback.
Yep.
And they made some pretty big promises. And, you know, quite frankly, the last Ghost Games Need for Speed title that they made was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. But there were, you know, the always online stuff and microtransactions, and it was always kind of at nighttime, and the story was a bit silly. I know that they put a story into Payback, and they're trying to kind of go into the Fast and Furious kind of vibe.
Yeah, that definitely was exactly the vibe I think everyone was going for.
So fingers crossed, but definitely high, awesome pedigree over
Yeah.
there. It's a fusion of DICE people and Criterion people, and they love racing. And they take it very seriously, and that Need for Speed brand is so important to EA. So, I think the last one was solid, but it underwhelmed a bit. So this one has to kind of showcase what the team can do.
It was still fun, right? I mean, I wish Criterion kind of got another shot at the Need for Speed franchise, but they're working on Battlefront 2 right now, right?
Exactly, and that's the other big one that we know for sure is going to be.
I hope we better see it. I'm sure we will see some gameplay. Like, this has to be their big. They might even start the show with it.
It's months away.
Yeah.
You know, look, we've got the countdown clock has started, so 22 minutes, and people are milling around out there. We think Jose has got to be in the crowd. He's working with Electronic Arts today.
Jose Sanchez, our main dude. There has been a little bit of a rumor this morning of a little schedule leak. So one thing that's on people's minds is Madden might be shown off on the Scorpio.
Oh, cool.
So they might do a Scorpio presentation. But my big kind of concern is, are they going to kind of call it by the Scorpio? Or are they going to... I can't imagine they're going to reveal the name of this next system.
Well, they probably just show the visuals and say the next iteration of the Xbox. Yeah, which they can't really... they can't preempt Xbox in their unveiling tomorrow, but they can certainly show what the game looks at that spec, and they can also allude to the fact that the PS4 Pro game is going to look like this. But they'll probably, because they're very loyal and they have a great big allegiance because of the Xbox subscription service that's only available on or the EA subscription service that's only available on Xbox. There's a tremendous loyalty between EA and Xbox.
Yeah, that's a great point.
They're great business partners, so I would imagine that they're going to show them some love. But the other side of that coin is Battlefront is more favored on the PlayStation platform.
It is, yeah.
Right? And they have a huge. We're not in Los Angeles yet, but they have a huge. Full building advertisement for Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the main building. I think it's the Figueroa Hotel, which is the sort of it's like the downtown center core hotel that E3 has always sort of gravitated around.
Yeah.
And that's where all of the biggest games throughout E3's history have all been sort of unveiled and revealed. So Battlefront 2 is going to be enormous. It has to be excellent, and it has to win favor for all the people that were disappointed with the first game.
Yeah, and you know, one thing to actually mention about EA and their history of press conference, I think they're starting to slowly understand kind of that hardcore gamers are kind of the people who are always, you know, waiting to watch E3, and I feel like their press conferences have gotten a little bit better as time has gone through. It's been a little bit less about the sports games, which are great.
Yes.
Right? But the sports fans and those people the millions and millions of people who buy those games aren't lining up and watching E3, right? It's a bit of a competition, E3.
I don't know. I mean, FIFA is it's a king-making piece of software. FIFA is a.
I played 17. I love the story. They're killing it.
It's such an important brand, and it's such an important part of EA's offerings. It really floats the company in a lot of ways. Like when they come out with a game like Unravel, and it didn't do that well. So I'm curious to see if they're going to be doing more risky, smaller games like that this year. That's what I want EA to do. I mean, the foundation of Electronic Arts is a company that used to put the credits of the people that built their games into the magazine ads.
You know what? They kind of did, though, too, with Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I feel like that was a big risk for them. It didn't do well, but you do have to sometimes give EA credit and respect for releasing a game like
they're one of the most important companies in the business, and even if they become more corporate and find ways to make money in different ways that kind of piss us off as hardcore gamers, they've also contributed so much to this medium, and they have so many brands that are unbelievably important. They sit on stuff for a long time. Like, I want an SSX game so bad, and I want to. Now I've played the NBA Playgrounds title, which was okay, but it made me want
NBA Street, right?
The Street franchises and the Jam games that they also own the rights to, right? They bought the NBA Jam, right?
Yeah, this is a perfect transition to our next topic. Let's talk about our wish lists here. What do we want to see with all these amazing brands and franchises that EA owns? What do you want to see? I'm gonna hide my list. You already mentioned a few of mine.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I really want to see what Amy Hennig and Jade Raymond and Motive and it's Visceral, I guess, in the EA Redwood Shores. I want to see what they have been collaborating on. It would be amazing to get a little bit further with Respawn. It would also be amazing. It would be amazing, and I tweeted this out, for there to be some kind of mention about new Titanfall. Because even though Titanfall 2 didn't hit the
that's wishful thinking. That's
it didn't hit the sales, but it's such a beloved game. We gave it Game of the Year. It's such an amazing game. I still haven't deleted it off my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I have so many titles that are constantly in rotation. But that game is so damn good, and it felt like they were just getting started with where they could go with that franchise. You know, and. EA is a big business. It's a lot of moving parts, and they got Respawn working on Star Wars, and Star Wars comes with all that built-in marketing. But Titanfall is awesome, and I don't want it to be squandered the way that I feel that Burnout has been squandered. A Burnout game would also be incredible.
That would be amazing.
A Road Rash game would be amazing.
Vic, this is some wishful thinking coming out of your mouth this morning.
We did that story on Mutant Football League, and it would be amazing to see that EA picked up the rights, and they're gonna publish it as Mutant League Football again, and they work with Michael Mannheim and. That kind of stuff would just warm my heart, and I feel like the games industry, you can't live in the past. They got to grow, and they got to be big companies. But that kind of stuff, just like look what Shenmue did for PlayStation. Right. They didn't need to make that. They didn't need to work with Yu Suzuki on all that stuff, and the Final Fantasy VII remake and all that kind of stuff just makes the games fans go nuts like us. We'll get into Xbox stuff tomorrow, but those are some of my things. It's like. We know you can make money, EA, but show us how you are honoring your past and your longtime loyal fans and the teams that you've worked with and the developers that you've helped to foster and some of the IP that we have been wanting for a long time, but also maybe some more stuff like Mirror's Edge and Unravel as well. Some surprises that way.
I think, those smaller titles that, we want to see them take risks, I think is what you're getting at. And absolutely, I agree with you with the Respawn. I think they're the one kind of developer that I really want to hear just even a little tease from. Just to make sure that we have solid concrete info on exactly what it is they are doing. But another list on my wish list here is I want to see a Dead Space game.
Oh, that'd be great.
I want to see a Dead Space game, especially with this resurgence of VR. And I know that's wishful thinking.
Oh my God, I could not deal with that game in VR. Are you kidding me? Oh my, Resident Evil nearly gave me a heart attack.
Exactly. We saw the success of Resident Evil, and we're seeing kind of VR grow slowly. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. It's been 4 years. 2013, Dead Space 3 came out.
Wow.
I think we are ready for the next one. And I think that would be a fantastic one. Another series Skate. I want to see Skate come back. You know, that's another kind of risk. We saw Ubisoft try something with Steep that didn't work out, sadly.
Yes.
I would love to see EA take a risk like that too. You know,
Skate and SSX. Boom.
Boom.
That's all they need to do. Say that. We're all just
End
going to
the
walk
show.
away with huge smiles on our faces. Like, yeah. And NBA Street.
NBA Street, of course.
Right.
And another wishful thinking, which I don't think will happen, but Mass Effect trilogy. We got to see that be remastered.
Right.
I want to see that come back. You know?
This would be the wrong year to do that.
Yeah.
This is the year of
Mass Effect going downhill.
well, no, this is the year of major learnings,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you saw the Kotaku. Jason Schreier, I think, did some investigative journalism on what the hell happened
Yes,
with
yeah, so
Andromeda, and it was hard to read. You know that these big companies, they're filled with bureaucracy and infighting, and not always, and not every team and not every company, but there's always drama when you put people together, and unfortunately that was the victim of drama,
Yeah.
and it showed in the final product. I think they have to walk back a little bit from any hype around Mass Effect.
Yeah.
They got to do that again properly.
At the same time, though, I don't hope they put it in the back burner. I don't want to wait another 5-10 years for another Mass Effect game, because I feel like
Get ready to do that.
Yeah, because they're such a talented developer,
do you
right?
want, do you want a pillow? Because you're gonna be waiting a long time for more Mass Effect.
Because it's such a amazing franchise, and Andromeda was just such a mess. You know,
Yes.
they have it's like this. It's this series that, you know, you can compare the lore to something like Star Wars, right, with all the different planets and species, and there's just so much.
Oh, it's amazing. Yes, absolutely.
And,
there was all kinds of talk of television shows and movies and
Yeah.
all of that has to just take a rest for a minute, you know. And frankly, like, they have Star Wars, and they have the team that made KOTOR, you know.
Yeah.
Like, they can do lots of incredible stuff here, and Old Republic is still doing well. Okay, listen, we want to get some of your thoughts and comments and questions. We have 10 minutes until the stream is happening, but help us out here. Do something to make your question or comment stand out, because it's streaming like crazy. Okay. Alex, yes, you saw the EPN in the movie theater. Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody that's replied to the EPN cut that we did on behind the scenes on ARMS.
Yeah.
It was very sweet to see that feedback, and it was an awesome opportunity for us, obviously, and we had so much fun working with Nintendo on that piece. I actually saw it in the movie theater last weekend, with my daughter, and she was telling everybody in the theater, like, "That's my daddy." It was crazy. Okay, so say comment or question in all caps, so we know that you've got something, because we won't have time to read everything here. Donnie, I did see you say, should I get a 4K 55-inch screen TV because they're on sale? This would be a good year to get a 4K TV. All the 4K is coming at us right now, and I freaking love my 4K TV.
Yeah, Vic is the man. I make fun of Vic because every time, you know, any review he does, or, you know, anytime he comes in here, just always there has to be some form of mention of 4K. So
we just got a super chat from Rukia X-Play Network. That's X-Play Network, unbelievable. So that's obviously someone that used to watch us on G4. You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work. That is incredible. Thank you very much. Very sweet. Thank you. Would I like to see... Oh, we got an all-cap question. Thank you. From Fall of Duty. Would you like to see a Saboteur remaster? I freaking love that game. Did you play Saboteur?
I did not play Saboteur, no.
God, and it was kind of, you know, surface. It was not as good as Grand Theft Autos and some of the other open world stuff there, but then you start digging in, and what you had to do in that game was basically kill Nazis and blow up their installations.
I remember.
And boy, is it fun to kill the Nazis.
Yeah. What year was that game?
That was like 2010, I want to say.
I was going to say 2009 or something, but okay, 2010.
Xbox, PlayStation 2. Fantastic game. Tom French was one of the leads.
PlayStation 2.
2009.
PlayStation 3.
3.
Yes, right. Yeah, PlayStation 3. Tom French working at on 343 now, I think, working on the Halo franchise. But he was a big creative presence on there. Super cool guy. Yeah. Zathus Thorn, do you know that Outlaw Star is coming on Blu-ray this Tuesday? I do now. I don't know what Outlaw Star is. I'm sorry. Question, would you like to see an SSX Tricky remaster or sequel? Here's the thing. I love some remasters. but I want to see new content, right? I just reviewed Wipeout, which will have the review up pretty soon. Yeah, it's amazing. But just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's stuff that we've already kind of played, and so you can't not take a point off here or there for stuff like that.
That's been the story with a lot of publishers and developers, is when they do these remasters to kind of test the waters, and see how much fans like them. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see that.
Yes.
But we've also seen kind of failures from that, as we saw Hideo Kojima do Zone of the Enders little collection with the 2 games, and that didn't sell so hot.
The Devil May Cry one was
that was kind of like a dip in the water, just to see, do people want a Zone of the Enders game?
Right.
And I see something from EA here, so
that would be cool, but I would rather see something new. On the topic of killing Nazis, any guesses to what the next Wolfenstein game might be about? We will talk about the next Wolfenstein tomorrow before the Bethesda conference. That's the one that I think I'm the most curious about. Yeah, because
out of all the press conferences?
Well, because we know Scorpio and sort of 4K gaming is going to be Xbox.
What about Nintendo, man? I'm actually really...
Well, we just reported on half the leaks that are happening, so I'm not that surprised. I hope I'm really surprised by Nintendo, but I don't know anything about what Bethesda has got planned. And I'm looking forward to seeing that and chatting with all you guys there. Do you think EA brings out another sports athlete to present a game? Mr. Brockarock, you are being cynical.
We need to see FIFA.
That was sarcasm. You know who I think they need to bring out? Peter Moore.
Oh, okay.
They got to bring Peter Moore out, and it's like his victory tour, but it's also a nice way to say...
Forget that. I want to see Jose Sanchez on that...
we're going to see that, but...
Well, I want to see him on the stage announcing and presenting a game, all right? That's what I want to see.
I think we would know about that already if that was happening. It would be all over social media. Durlox, I don't know how to say that. Okay, I can't say it.
You got this, Vic.
Durlox 16. Would you be interested in playing Medal of Honor? I would. I think that would be. It would be kind of insane for EA to say, what, we need another shooter. But it would be crazy cool to see Medal of Honor go right up against Call of Duty.
I mean, it's just these third parties, they dominate, especially EA. They dominate this first-person shooter market, right? And adding another one is just more...
Well, we saw that with Titanfall too.
With Titanfall, but that's also why I feel like Microsoft was failing so hard with their exclusives, because they have some, they have Halo, and they have even Gears of War was fantastic. But they're all shooters, and the shooter market is already so saturated with so many great games, right? That it's hard to stand out.
Okay, Zethus Thorn, Outlaw Stars anime that came on Toonami years ago. Thank you. Okay. Have I played Wolfenstein Old Blood? I have. I loved the Wolfenstein game that came out, both of them that came out recently from Bethesda. Hey, Victor, how would it be if we had a remaster or remake of Advent Rising? Holy crap.
Oh, my God. Didn't Jose do a voice in that?
I did, too.
You did, too? Yeah. Oh, my God. Yes, Vic. We need to see this. We need to see this.
This was Tommy's opus. Oh, Alex Wright. Oh, my God. Had no idea this button existed. Thanks for continuing the awesome coverage and being such a passionate... Oh, man. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
He says, awesome coverage and passionate and positive figure in the industry. Cheers, Alex. That's very sweet. I went to bed thinking about this last night because I was on a stream the other day, and Greg Seward, who is a developer in games, he works in the Maritimes now, but he's an ex-journalist that used to work at EGM. He's a Canadian guy that actually made the trip to San Francisco. And he got on the stream and he was saying, this is why Vic is still doing it, because he still has all of this joy and love for it. and I'm kind of tooting my own horn here, but I do have that joy. I do have that optimism. And what I kind of am recognizing, as we're in our weird, crazy, make it up as we go 27th season here, is if you are running a business, or if you have aspirations to help a business continue running, holy crap, do you need to find that optimism. You need to kind of let the cynicism and the skepticism kind of fall away. And I think that's also appropriate with the recent comments that Patty Jenkins made about Wonder Woman, and how she said you can't be sarcastic around this stuff. You can't be calling any of this stuff cheesy. Cheesy it's a killer word. It's a word that will just pop the balloon of stuff getting made, and you can have fun with cheesy.
Yeah.
But I think you need to like be true to yourself, but find that positivity, especially if you're trying to build something.
That's a great way to think about it. I never thought of that way. I mean, you look at everything on YouTube. 80% of content on YouTube's a little bit cheesy if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Doing a Let's Play and the way some people act on Let's Plays is a little crazy, but. Yeah, that makes sense. But this is a shout out to all you game developers out there, indie game developers. We got a great actor here for hire. All right, we got.
This is my audition piece.
Yeah, this is his audition right
I've
here.
done a couple of things. I did something with Digital Extremes. It was all just background stuff. We did something. They put me in the game, my face actually, in NHL Hits when Black Box was making that in Vancouver. Adam West, yes, good comment, Zathus Thorn. I woke up to that. I sent out my social tweet about the fact that we've got a pretty cool piece on arms, and then I went to Twitter and I saw the streams of comments about Adam West, but I also had a lot of messages to me personally telling me that Adam West had passed away, because you guys, if you know what a Batman. I don't know if you know, but I like Batman. Yeah. But I grew up with the Adam West show, and I've probably mentioned this before, but one of the cool things about that show is it also had that optimism and that joyfulness. And I grew up. I lived in Windsor, Ontario for not very long, but when I was a child, and across the water is Detroit, and Detroit had this killer suite of TV stations, and on one of those every day they played the old Batman reruns, and I used to watch that like crazy. And then my family moved out to Vancouver, and there was a station in town here called CKVU, which is now City TV, and they were running the old Spider-Man cartoon, which I thought looked like crap compared to the old Batman TV show. So I actually petitioned the station, and I wrote up a letter, and I got...
How old were you in this?
I was like 7 or 8, and I got 13 signatures, and I sent the letter to the general manager of the station.
That's how you get things done, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and then they replied back, and they said, "Thank you for your letter. And we will take it under consideration," but they never changed it. They never put the old Adam West. But that's how much that show meant to me. It was just like this perfect.
That's nice. They replied to you though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I actually got the chance to tell Adam West that story, and he said, "Bless you," and he was a sweet man, And we interviewed him a couple of times, but I worked with a guy that works for Warner Brothers in PR, and. When they were redoing the animated movie with Adam West and Burt Ward just a couple of years ago, this PR guy traveled all over America with Adam West, and he said he was tireless and generous and wonderful to just be with, and he was going to miss not working with him every day. And I don't hear that very often from PR people that are attached to celebrities of any kind, mostly because it's a grind, right? But people love Adam West. And they loved meeting him, and the joy that came off of that guy was something special to witness, and also all the joy surrounding him. Like, he just beamed when he walked into a room, and everybody was, just really appreciative. And it's Gary that my friend Gary at Warner Brothers PR that told me how much it was a blast and an honor to work with him, and so I'll never forget that, and I'll never forget. Having the opportunity to meet him and talk with him. He was wonderful. We're actually going to run one of those classic interviews on the channel, so you can watch that. Yes.
Big shout out to.
It'll be up in like 20 minutes.
The Adam West piece will be up in like 20 minutes. But we have work to do.
Yeah.
We can't just think about Adam West today. You rest in peace, my friend. But let's talk about EA's press conference here.
We have about a minute 30 until we start here. And God bless Blake's soul. If you guys didn't hear him, the interview will be up, of course.
Yes.
And he went this morning and grabbed it. And did you meet Adam West actually when he came to Fan Expo?
In Toronto?
No, I think
did he come to Vancouver?
I thought he came to Vancouver.
I met him in San Diego.
Okay.
And I met him in New York at Toy Fair, and that was just a chance encounter coming off of an elevator. And we put him on TV, and he was super cool, and he was great. Hello, Kaname. We've got Farimer. Remember, if you want to ask give us a comment or a question, try to put comment or question in all caps, or put your whole thing in caps.
We are here in the last minute countdown, guys.
Because it's hard to see with the stream with everything coming in, and we want you guys to be chatting and talking and all that stuff. But if you want us to mention it on the thing, let us know. Audrion, I enjoyed watching that 60s Batman series. Absolutely.
What's going on here, guys? We got to see what this is to make sure
we are live.
We're not missing a single thing.
That's right. Okay, so come on, EA, impress us.
Yes, let's see what EA's like. You know what? I actually have some solid hopes. If I see some Battlefront 2 good, solid campaign gameplay, I think I'm going to be totally satisfied.
I predict that, and I predict that we're probably going to have the beta. It could be even this week. They could even say you guys can go and sign up and start playing.
PS4 exclusive?
Oh, I'm sure it will be, yeah. Do you think Sony will announce a new portable system? We will talk about that on Monday, but I hope so. Will we get a new Castlevania game to go with the Netflix show? I don't know.
Well, here you go, guys.
Okay, here's the EA stream. Here's everything. And listen, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is so cool to be able to be in the studio, and instead of just tweeting from the audience, we can chat with you guys. It's incredible. Just had a dream come true. Vic Lucas at my handle. That's awesome. Farimer. Farimer, yeah, is my spot. Okay, let the hype begin.
Let's do it, guys. It's the start of E3,
Daryl
pretty
like
much.
16. I got your name now. I got your name.
Right.
Much Star Wars. Looked like the Sims were popping back up in there too.
I hope so. You know what? The Sim series is great. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, they burnt me. Oh, Lord,
I've killed too many
Lord
people.
Vader, thank you so much. Okay, we've got a Madden marching band right now. New England Patriots. Tom Brady will be on stage very soon here.
Jose Sanchez on stage, please.
Arcady NHL would be cool. Yes, Sibieski. Absolutely. Arcady Sports. Absolutely. Happy E3, everyone. Doi Owen says absolutely. This is cool. Hope you guys are watching the stream, right? You're all watching the actual EA stream here, not just. Well, I guess they can. They're watching everything. Yeah, that's the idea. Watching everything right here. Okay.
So this looks like Madden.
This is new for us.
This looks like probably gonna show.
I covered your career at the University of Texas.
Is this a story mode for Madden?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my God.
They're gonna do that for all their games. Frostbite engine everywhere. Is that Scott Porter? I think it was. From Friday Night Lights. He's a huge gamer.
What's to stop you from hightailing again?
He was Robin in Injustice 2.
Yeah.
Football's my life.
He was terrific in Friday Night Lights.
My father used to say, when the world knocks you down, get back up again.
Wait is miles behind. Go, sir.
Good to see you, David Chapman.
You're not the only one trying to get drafted.
This is way better. This is a way better way to appreciate these press conferences.
This looks so good, actually.
Yes.
Final play of the game.
Hey, it's what's his face?
Let's go out there and
Oh,
prove
somebody tell us his name.
I actually don't know who that is.
He just was in the one of the Oscar winners. He just won an Academy Award.
At an 18 long. Is that what they're calling it, or is that a separate thing?
From Marshall Say or something. I forget his name. Yeah, Mayor Charles Ali.
Thank you, Blake.
Yes, he was in Luke Cage as well. Incredible in that.
That's Madden like you've never seen it. And I might be biased, but I'm pretty sure that's the most innovative Madden we've done in well over a decade. Welcome to EA Play 2017, coming to you from the Hollywood Palladium. This is our second year at EA Play. Last year we went out on a limb, tried to do something a little different with a view to changing the way you interact with products before they launch. We wanted to do something that put the games in your hands earlier, and it showed us how much further we can go. As you can see, we've built a creative space
I don't think
here.
there's been a
We're right in the middle of it.
video game
This is going to be where it
CEO,
all goes down over the
video
next
game
3
company
days.
CEO that looks more like a
Playing,
video game
creating,
character
and
than Andrew
sharing with the rest of the
Right?
world.
Yeah.
We've built it this
looks
way
like-
for
He
a
looks like
very
one of the
simple
avatars
reason.
that you would choose
We
in
want
any
more of you to be
you
able
would
to
put him in a
experience
spacesuit and
this
he's in
moment.
Mass
What was the
Effect, right?
character's name in
For
Far
thousands
Cry
in Hollywood
4
this
who
week, we have
was played by
hundreds of
Troy Baker?
stations
He had blonde hair, but he kind of
hands-on
reminds me of the
And
villain
for
from
tens
Far
of
Cry
millions
4.
of you out there joining online from across the world, you won't hear it just from us. You'll hear it from players.
That was actually a
right
solid way
here.
to start it.
Yeah.
They're
I
here to
actually
see
like-
new things, to ask questions, to challenge us. To
Lou
tell us what they
Sistema.
like, and
We're not
especially
missing E3.
what
We're
they
doing
don't.
the press conferences
We're
from
gonna connect with
here,
each other
and then
and
we're
create content.
flying down on
And of
Tuesday
course,
to go and
we're gonna play as many games
hit the
as
show
they
floor and get
possibly can.
interviews and get some hands-on.
So
with
let's set the
everything.
stage for what we'll do over the next hour and a bit.
His
We're gonna go
comment is a
deep
bit
into
low
8
compared
new
to yours.
experiences,
I
each
guess we
with
have to
major
kind of balance
reveals,
this.
massive
Yeah, we'll bring it up a
innovation,
little
bit.
and stories that'll pull you in.
There
2
you
years
go.
ago, we
Guys can
launched
listen to
Star
the
Wars
evil
Battlefront,
CEO.
and we got a
Oh, he's
lot
not
of
evil.
feedback.
You know,
Okay.
the cool thing about Andrew is that
A lot of it positive,
he
and
came
a
up
bunch of
from
it
the development
constructive.
ranks. He's
Yeah.
not just a CEO
It's a
from like a
euphemism
shoe
for not
company or
as
something like that. No
positive.
offense, Peter Moore.
So today
Love
we're
you
going to
too.
bring you
But
30
he's,
minutes of Star
he's a
Wars
guy that
Battlefront.
He's been
2.
with the company for
And what we hope
well,
you'll
he
see
was on
is that
he
we've
was on
addressed
FIFA
all
for a
of
long
the
time, so
feedback.
he's been in the trenches making
And
stuff
gone
for
even
a long
further.
time. We're going to
We've
start
got
to
a mix
see
of
a
everything
nice
here for
big
you. A look
wave
at new
of
IP,
CEOs,
some
and
killer
major
new
level
trailers,
executives that have
demos,
come up
and a
from
bunch of live gameplay.
actual
This
programming.
is going to
and
be a lot of
design
fun. And it should be, right?
I mean, that's been going
Because
on
we're
for a
all
while,
here
but I
for
think
one
as
simple
How it should
reason.
be too. It feels more
All
genuine
of us
as
share
well when
one
I
fundamental
think gamers
belief,
respect that.
and that's that games are the best form of entertainment on the planet.
See, when a guy like this
Yeah.
guy says that, you believe it.
They connect us like
because
nothing else.
That's where his
They
career
bring
has
us
come
together
from,
across
right?
cities
He's not
and
just
countries.
like looking
They
at the dollar
inspire
signs.
us.
It's like, well, this
They
is
ignite
I've seen
the
the
fires of
rewards of people
competition
playing my
inside
work.
us.
You know.
Games allow us to do extraordinary things.
30 minutes
and
of
to
Star
be
Wars Battlefront,
extraordinary in
please.
our own
Timberwolf
ways.
is asking for.
Games enable us to be our most
Adam West
creative
content
selves.
is live on the channel.
Whether that's as game makers
You
trying
can check
to
that out
pioneer
after
new
the
ways to
stream here.
play,
Blake already.
or
So
players making each game a unique expression of our own passion for what we do. Games put the power of play in our hands to do with it what we want and to make it our own.
Who's my favorite Star
Let's
Wars
celebrate.
character? Han Solo.
For the next 3
there
days, we're
another
here to
choice?
celebrate play
Yeah,
with
Han
all of
Solo
you.
is-
Yeah,
And
come
what
on.
better
Chewbacca.
place to start than with
you
a
gotta give up
game
to Chewie.
that
Han
has
and
taken the
Chewie,
world by storm?
I actually
Battlefield
love R2-D2,
1.
and I
There's,
always
yeah, there's more than 20
I
million
actually love
Battlefield
Luke.
1 players
Love
out there
his
today,
story.
and
I
we've
do
got
too,
a lot
actually,
to
yeah. I
share
really do love
about a
But,
revolution that's
BB-8
coming to this
actually
great
kept it.
franchise.
You love
Serious?
BB-8.
I love
Jump to
BB-8. Oh, I don't have
Battlefield
the BB-8
right
with Star Wars.
from the
but-
creative heart
BB-8
of
Star
EA
Wars
Play.
Starbucks cup.
Anyone I know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where's Jose? Come on.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew Galata, producer for Battlefield 1 at our DICE studio right here in LA.
Oh, DLC.
I'm standing inside the creator cave at EA Play where our community is creating new content to share with players across the globe. It's unbelievably rewarding to see more than 20 million players embracing the
This
game,
has got to be.
crafting their own memorable moments.
Oh, you're
only
welcome,
possible
Zhangfei
in
500.
Battlefield 1.
Thank you for
Let's
watching.
take
This
a
is
look.
super cool. So I've got the comments down here. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at here.
Okay.
What is it about the Battlefield franchise that's so special and appealing to you?
The thing I find special about Battlefield is teamwork. I'm not good at shooting. Sometimes I like to repair,
Axis
or
2084,
heal,
yes.
or hide.
This is the little
This is the-
community reel.
Yeah, this is okay.
I'm most
People
definitely
playing the
proud to
game and
be
having
a part
fun
of
with
the
it.
Battlefield community. I've never been a part of any other gaming community where people are just so passionate about their game.
Everyone in this community is focusing on making this game as best as it can be and
Yep.
expanding on the experiences
Fun game, I
that
love
we've
it.
already
Yeah, this
had.
is wonderful. Yeah, but the yeah.
Was mich an
must be
Battlefield
so
begeistert, ist die
gratifying.
schiere Bandbreite an
Faces
Dingen,
of the
die ich in diesem
people that are
Spiel
actually
tun kann.
spending hours in it. This is all new, relatively new for me to be in that world.
A 64-man army
We were
that
a
just
daily
does
TV
massive,
kind of
crazy
team for
things.
so long.
I have made
we
so
saw
many
this
amazing
coming,
friends
but it
who
was
become
this other
more
thing.
like family.
Yeah.
It's something that
streamers and the Let's Players
Yeah.
were always
squad up and go and tear it up.
just kind of appreciate I wish Nintendo wasn't so crazy on their copyright and they did things more with it. They have a fantastic community.
excellent comment from The Last Disciple. This is something that I don't see enough people commenting on, is the music in the Battlefield franchise is amazing. It's always been great. And was that a bomb on a guy?
No, I think it was a shark that came out.
Are you kidding?
What was that?
Uh,
Was it like a mod or something?
I'll never be able
yeah,
to do that again in
beautiful,
my
beautiful
life.
music.
Never
I love
ever.
the theme to
That's
Battlefield.
as good
Always
as it gets. I
have.
should just stop playing. I should quit.
Ace Loth, yes, need new original content, not sequels.
He just
yes.
disabled a moving truck with a grenade while jumping off a horse. Incredible. We love these only in Battlefield moments, and we want even more of them. So we're bringing more ways for you to play. First, night maps debut this summer. In Neville Nights and Prise de Terreur, you'll need to deploy tactics as you fight through the night in a massive network of trenches.
Okay.
Second,
It's
I'm
really
excited
cool,
to
actually.
announce
Reminds me of, I
a
forgot what the Call of
major
Duty map
revolution
was, but it
in
reminds me of
Battlefield
Oh
1.
yeah,
exactly
totally,
like that.
right?
We're
Yeah,
bringing epic
from
battles to the eastern front
even
of
the first
World War
one.
I.
Yeah. It feels like
In the Name
from
of
the
the
first
Tsar
Call of Duty game.
expands Battlefield 1 to the blistering winter in the east.
I mean, this is obviously a
This
massive success
is the
for
biggest
EA.
front of World War I.
But they've got the
And with
world's
it,
eyes
we're bringing you
on this
6 new maps,
on
the
this
Russian
presentation
army,
right now,
including the
and
mighty
I don't know if
Hussar
that's
cavalry,
big enough
new
for a
vehicles and
presentation
weapons
like
to
this.
expand
You
your
know?
I think they're
arsenal,
just trying to show
and
their
the
big guns,
iconic
though, as
women's
well, to, I
battalion
guess,
of death.
investors and all the people that, hey, we got these fantastic
We're
huge
introducing a
franchises.
richer gameplay
Is this a story
experience
DLC?
in
What are
both
they talking
progression and operations mode. By bringing deeper player progression through all new assignments, the ability to tailor your playstyle with specializations, and new multi-battle experiences woven through the fan-favorite game mode, Operations. All of this coming in September as part of
So
In the Name of the
Operations
Tsar.
are
And for
sort
the
of
next
like
3 days,
random
the
battles that
Lubkow
pop
Pass
up.
map
Yeah.
from In the
Okay, I
Name of
thought
the
that there
Tsar
was a single
is
player
right here
content.
at EA Play. For those of you tuning in, you'll get a glimpse of it from these guys when they share it on their channels very soon. So there you have it, 8 new maps in total, opening up the largest front in World War I with new ways to play. There's never been a better time to be part of the Battlefield
Yeah,
community.
games as a service.
Now
is
enough
what
of
we're
me.
looking at right here.
Let's give you a
It's,
first look at In the Name of the
I mean,
Tsar. A revolution
smart business
is coming.
for EA for sure, and the Battlefield 1 audience is enormous. That's great.
Yeah.
But we want to see fresh things, right? We want to see stuff that's out of nowhere.
This is
for the trailer for it. Wonder Woman DLC, that would be awesome.
Услышишь гром и вспомнишь обо мне.
No, I think there is a single player attached to it.
Okay. Well, that would be great.
I love the single player of Battlefield 1.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't play a lot of first-person shooters because I'm so oversaturated.
Oh, maybe
but
the Operations was the individual story piece. The little mini ones.
this is one, I think.
Yeah, cool.
They're all like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, they're not long, but they're really cool. I agree. I wanted more, but I guess they were planning it as DLC.
В огне.
That's awesome.
No, this was part of the reason to do this, Victor Oliveira, is because the press conferences were stretching out over multiple days, and I said, well, why don't we... Why don't we
most creative people
just
making truly
do
amazing
some streaming from
experiences,
the studio
Battlefield 1.
and hit the press conferences
Now this
way.
summer is going to be huge.
And
so much
so far,
new
I think that was
content,
the very
so much
good
more to
decision
play,
to do. Very
and so
wise.
many
It was
new
great
ways
to be
to
able to
play.
wake up in my own bed
There's one more thing
and
we'll bring
go
to
to
Battlefield.
my local Starbucks
Later this year,
and
we're
sit
going to
down to
give
do
you
this
a
stuff.
new competitive
and have
Battlefield
all of you here, which I don't get
We've
on
heard
a
you.
Twitter
You want
screen.
a
You know?
smaller, tighter
this
experience
is much
focused
better.
on team play. You want all-out war build for competition, and you want it accessible to players
I
and to
think
viewers.
this was alright to
And
just kind
it's
of get
coming.
Battlefield 1 DLC
I can't
out of the
wait
way
to
in the
share more
beginning.
with you guys
You know,
at
we'll
Gamescom
see.
in
I hope
August.
they don't keep doing this, obviously.
Now,
for the rest of the
competition is at the
conference,
center of EA
actually
today,
looked like a great
and we've
DLC.
always thought about it a little differently. We believe in making stars of all our players. Let me tell you something really cool. Last
Is
month,
this Ben
I was
Silverman's
watching
turf?
an amazing competitive
not
show.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
We made it to
Yeah,
the
but
championship
we still forever
finals
be in his heart.
Berlin. 6
I
months
remember
ago,
what happened to this
guy
poor
was
guy a
an
couple years
unknown.
ago for Battlefield
Now
4,
he's a
the
worldwide
Xbox
star.
presser. Yes, access.
And
I
he'll be
just watched
competing with the
one of
best
the
at the FIFA Interactive
cringiest
World
moment
Cup final
videos
in August.
yesterday.
Now,
Vic, do you think we'll get a
we
new
wanna
Batman
find
game
more
from
stars.
Rocksteady,
So we're doubling
Rattle
down in
Factor?
competition in
I do
ways
think we
only
will get a
EA
new
can.
Batman game.
Rattle Factor.
This fall,
Rattle
we're
Factor.
launching
Yeah,
the largest
okay.
FIFA
Who's Rattel?
championship
I know
ever,
he's a
with many
friend of
ways to
mine.
compete.
Oh, he is. Okay.
He's,
Watch-
The
okay.
best
He's a
FUT players
scumbag.
will
Oh,
compete
he's a
in the
scumbag.
FIFA Ultimate
All right, well,
Team
let me
Champions
answer
Cups.
him. Do I think? Yes, I do think we're going to get a Batman game from Rocksteady, but I don't think we're going to see it at this E3. I hope I'm wrong.
You can.
But
we'll have much more to share.
WB is not walking away from that Batman money anytime soon, and Rocksteady as well.
As developers,
they
your passion
obviously
is what
love
fuels us.
working
Your
on that
stories
product.
Inspire us, and
I
competition
expect
like
Star Wars
nothing
to be
else
last, the big
brings them
finale,
to
so to
life.
speak. David Chapman. Yeah, I think Star Wars will probably be last. I agree. So this is all about the esports initiative that EA has been working very diligently on. They're working very hard. We've got friends that actually work on the production side of things over there, and they're spending a lot of money on the broadcast and the presentation and getting all of this stuff together. They have games that you think, of course, these things are going to be the huge esports breakout, competitive stuff out there.
How nervous are you right now?
I think they will. I mean,
I'm never going to lose ever in my life.
I think they will.
He's just a person you can hate.
It just takes time, right? You can't just overnight this stuff. Do you think that one of the problems with that they're facing is that they are releasing new versions of these games every year?
I mean,
because all the other esports games, they go on for years and years and years and years, right?
Yeah, the problem with I think releasing it every year too is because it kind of becomes a little saturated for the more casual sports fans. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I love these sports games too. Like I've played a lot of FIFA 17.
Yeah.
I actually own 17, and I got 2K.
Were you ever in doubt in that game?
But I feel like I buy these games once right? Because I feel like I like it this every year, and that kind of maybe tones the hype down.
Well, it definitely makes it very specialized to that core. So the core sports enthusiast and the core sports video game enthusiast. So you're drilling down on how wide you're going to be able to reach.
Yeah.
Just by the nature of that, right?
But they're making money, so they're not going to stop it. But I wonder though if they're going to have difficulties now adding the story mode experiences to these games.
I mean, they got to do something.
Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to compete between two teams? But I know probably a team of 300 people.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. FIFA's probably the biggest money owner that they have. They make so much money just off of the team stuff. And they have to do that because, NBA from 2K has been killing it with getting more variety there. And I really hope that NBA just picks up the 2K game and says, oh, I see some other developers are toying around with a Street type game. Here you go. I mean, they already have something that plays a little bit like that, but they don't have an NBA Jam mode. And that's kind of the only thing they're missing in that package. And if they do that, right?
They have like a big head mode and like all that crazy.
And honestly, at this point, I would say we're talking about a 2K game here, but it's kind of sacrilegious as FIFA is playing and it looks gorgeous. But that would be the smartest. I would say spend a little less on your story mode, NBA 2K18, and give us NBA Jam in your flavor. That would be amazing, right? Especially on the Switch. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite series growing up too, the NBA Street. I mean, they released it on GameCube and then Mario and Peach and Luigi.
If you're going to talk over the conference, turn your audio up and the conference down. Thank you for that suggestion. Thanks, guys. This is a new deal for us, right? We don't normally stream over the conferences, so we will, yeah. Oh, the conference got louder. Okay.
Thank you, Blake. Blake just always has our back, man. Blake is, I don't know what would happen. I think this place would burn down without us.
Comment, EA needs to do a software update for the games and charge $39.99. Roster changes a graphic instead of $80 every year. Faramer, I'm with you on that. I think games are too expensive in general.
What is this?
I went early, Rog. I went early. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the men in blazers. That's Rog, the bald one. I'm Davo, way less bald in person. We are
I'm with you on that, on the price point.
We really are.
Some of you will know us as like you get a lot of content for the price of these things, and if you look at what the ticket price for going to any one sporting event would be, I think they're expensive. You get almost like a season's pass worth of content out of buying one of these sports games now, right? In terms of all kinds of. So I see both sides, but I think games are too expensive. Period. They're this luxury item that shouldn't be. They should be a split decision item for people to pick up and be invested in and be able to play.
There's more a reason now to buy sports games every other because of the story modes and new campaign. But like, I can understand for people who buy these things every year, is like, because you had that original package. The new $80 you spent is not nearly as great because it's more or less the same game with maybe a few new extra features. So it's difficult. They have to really.
Ryan, thank you very much. He was loving our streams, but he just retracted the message, so I don't know. Maybe he doesn't love it.
Maybe he doesn't love it.
Do we say the wrong thing? Games are way too expensive. Access 2084, obviously a reference to Robotron 2084. Love it. Always EA spends too much time talking, like this is an investors meeting or something.
That man doesn't have
it is. I mean, it is. This is the business part of it.
That's why we see things like Battlefield DLC in these games. That are doing
Blake, who are these men in blazers?
That beautiful man.
Yeah, do you know who they are?
He's done it all. That's it.
Are they commentators?
Champion of Europe, La Liga title, Ballon d'Or winner, literally every trophy. And most impressive from our perspective.
So they're.
This is not what we need.
This is tough stuff. Like, we don't know who they are, and
I'm sure, like,
I mean, I guess that video just showed us who they were, and we were talking over that.
I don't know if it did. I was kind of glimpsing over.
Yeah, no, Rod. No, Rod.
Yeah.
The biggest story in football.
Can they move on to? See, I think this is the thing, right? Like half of the world right now is paying rapt attention here with the FIFA 18 stuff, showing some FIFA 17 stuff, and then a lot of us in North America are like, okay, let's go. You know,
give me Dead Space.
Do you guys think Mr. Caffeine will return for Ubisoft? Alex, right? I do not think Mr. Caffeine is ever coming back to E3. It's like that Ravi Drums guy, never coming back to E3. 20 minutes in, and this is typical E3 BS. Kev Brett, you know, I hate to say it, but it was stuff. Knowing that stuff like this was going to happen played into part of my decision to say maybe we don't need to spend all the travel money to go down and hit all of the press conferences. And honestly, like, we've never been in this situation before. Usually we would go and we would shoot stuff and then shoot things, and then we get it back to a TV show to cut it and stick it up on the air, but we're not playing that now. We're kind of streaming stuff and talking on a regular basis with you guys. And this is what we love to do too. We love having all of this chat integration and you guys talking.
On everybody's
wow, they're still doing more. Okay.
Everyone's hunting Hunter.
Alex
Good God, there's so much FIFA stuff.
See, control, big control. Yeah. I mean, this was on our list, right? This was the things we knew we were gonna see. Yeah. This is every EA press conference. Although, like I've mentioned, I think they are getting better a little bit every year. They're understanding, but there's still a lot of this, which is, I'm sure, is really hype for all the fans.
Yeah. What kind of club would let Alex Hunter go?
I'm not really sure that a move.
We get it. FIFA's important.
But this guy's getting too big for his boots.
We get it. I mean, they have to talk about it. They have to show the athletes. They got to show the esports groups. I mean, one of the things that we get to do instead of just tweeting out striking things from the press feeds is you guys are watching my shock and disbelief in my outer monologue as this stuff is happening in real time.
David is saying Need for Speed Payback is up next. You might have looked at the leaked schedule that maybe came out before, so we'll see. I don't know. But that's actually one game that I'm really
okay, so FIFA 17 guy now is a bigger athlete. Hunter returns, okay. All right, so that's all we needed to see to know that was happening.
What up, guys? Thank you for having me, EA. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator. So...
Did he say that? You guys all know who I am?
No, if you guys don't know who I am.
Okay.
Need for Speed.
I don't know.
I really
confirm.
I really hope he said, "You guys all know who I am."
If you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback, I'm
What? No, Jesse.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Not like this, Jesse.
All set aside.
What's he doing?
He's
stumbling.
Need for Speed Payback is coming out. I got
No.
my boy Marcus, executive
He's
producer
nervous.
here.
Why didn't they have Jose do this?
From the game. Thank you
Okay,
Nick,
okay.
for having me.
He's recovering.
Hey,
All
man.
right, he's got the
Thanks,
handshake
Jesse.
on deck. You good,
Obviously,
Jesse?
Oh,
we're
you know what
excited
happened?
to
The
tell
prompter
everyone
failed
about
on him.
Need for Speed Payback here today, but
That's
more
why you don't
importantly,
do
show
prompter,
That's why you don't do
guys.
prompter. You do it like
Payback,
Vic.
you are
Vic
on
just
a
goes
do
up
it.
there,
mission to
talks
take
out
down
of
the
his.
house.
You're gonna say talks out of my ass. That's okay. You can say that. Talks out of my ass.
Just go straight for 10 minutes. I'm like, how does he do all this?
You just don't be afraid to fail. You know, I think the minute you throw a prompter in the mix, you're gonna be just like looking at the prompter, and then that prompter becomes like your life raft, and then if the prompter fucks up, you are doomed. You know, it's crazy. Okay.
There's been a lot of new
And
things coming
like
to
a
the game,
YouTuber does not
and
have a
lot of old things that
teleprompter.
people are familiar
Why
with.
would you make a YouTuber read
Exactly.
a teleprompter?
You know,
That's
we're
a
putting a new
skill.
narrative
It's a
into the
total
game.
different
Drive three
challenge,
different
you know?
characters.
Yeah, you
Nuts.
messed up. You should have had Jose do this.
Or
I keep mentioning it, but
you can give me a ring and I'll produce some stuff for you guys. But prompter's bad. Okay, question. What are you most excited for? This is one of the games I'm most excited for. Vic's ass has a golden tongue. All right, this is getting weird territory.
This is where I want to see this.
Weird,
strange. This is a good direction.
Typical Vic's basement. Vic talks about his out of his ass, but he's damn good at it. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you for talking about me and my ass.
What is this?
You can pick up any piece of crap and turn it into a beast. That's the idea in the game.
I thought that was every Need for Speed game because you can just tune out a
Hey,
Civic
hey,
to have 1,000
hey.
horsepower.
Enough
with the cynicism. But you're absolutely right.
You know, we're absolutely very excited to show you the first one of the blockbusters from Need for Speed Payback called the Highway Heist that shows that intense action driving experience. So let's turn around and take a look.
See this. We're really excited, actually. I hope they take a thing from Forza Horizon here or there. Forza Horizon 2 is one of the best racing games.
0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. We intercept, then grab the car.
Horizon's incredible.
It'll be part of a convoy.
What are you thinking?
Quick hit and run. Get me close to the truck and I'll take care of the rest.
This is the same trailer that they just showed, isn't it?
No, this is gameplay.
Oh, this is footage. Okay.
So you can tell right away, this is the same engine, like just the gameplay, the way he turned, looks exactly like Need for Speed 2015.
Right.
Get rid of these guys.
Yeah, drifting, turning.
Live gameplay, absolutely.
Okay. Got these criteria
Of course.
slow-mos.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've been incorporating burnout stuff into Need for Speed like crazy. They always have. Harambe's Final Seed, Momo. Our money if the game is pay back our money if the game is trash. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a blast.
What the hell?
This actually looks really fun. This is total Fast and the Furious of what we were
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
also looks like Hot Pursuit a little bit too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the next,
that crash
evolution.
effect was totally from what we would see in Burnout Paradise.
I haven't seen that Vampire trailer. I watched a live demo at last year at E3. That's Don't Nod, and Vampire looks really good, guys. I can't wait for that game. Definitely a burnout moment from Axis. Patrick Furtado, what I want to see is in alphabetical order: Alice in Madness Returns, Brutal Legend 2, Bulletstorm, Dante's Inferno 2, pretty much a bunch of sequels. I don't think you're going to see any of those, Patrick. Sorry, buddy. Definitely not Brutal Legend. Not more Bulletstorm either.
I like this. This is looking pretty very similar to Need for Speed 2015, though, just in terms of handling and how the car seems like it feels.
Yeah, but you know that was all at night to make it look more photoreal.
Yeah, I'm
and
glad.
It did.
I think it was too much nighttime. Though.
Yes.
That game depressed me after a while.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a compulsive, hook to the play of it.
Yeah.
But it didn't have enough variety. One street looked like
And you
the
know
other.
what?
The other
It's a
street.
guilty pleasure too, like the cheesy cutscenes with the funny
Sure.
acting. I actually really enjoy it. I just don't know. It felt right at home. Okay, this is straight out of Fast and the Furious 1. All right.
Before the CG tanks come in and submarines and all the stuff that they do now.
Oh yeah. It's great. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now it's the tanks and it's not even a racing movie anymore.
Yeah. Oh, car out of the back of a truck.
It's Vin Diesel's in there. Come on, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Vin
Watch
Diesel.
it be Vin Diesel. Oh, come on. If they just had Vin Diesel in there,
That's a
I would've
total
gone crazy.
Spy Hunter moment. That was a game. Holy crap.
That's what Vin Diesel would have said. It would have been a soon up family.
Did you catch? Did you play the Spy Hunter game? That Midway.
I did.
You're
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
5
did.
years old.
No, I did.
It was such a good game.
I played all these. Listen, I grew up in Russia, so I was always like 5 to 6 years back. So I was playing Nintendo when everyone was playing Super Nintendo.
Well, that Spy Hunter game was incredible. I still remember that thing. Okay, that looked great. Would take a sequel to Split Second over this any day. Alex, right?
Yes.
Bringing back a great one. I actually just heard from one of the guys, one of the leads on Split Second wants to go for a drink at E3 because we worked on the making of that game. We did the behind-the-scenes stuff with Black Rock.
That was a really underrated.
That was an amazing game.
Very underrated.
Yeah.
Just came out at a bad time. Would be good now.
Curtis, Eric, Need for Speed, like Burnout, they have definitely incorporated. Burnout has been an incredibly influential game in general, right?
One of the best racing games of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic.
And you know what the thing is, and this is why I want more Titanfall, is that developers need a few kicks at it. Like Grand Theft Auto needed a few kicks at it before they got it, right?
Yeah.
Burnout team needed a few kicks at it. Same thing with Titanfall, you know, and
I think they only needed one kick at it because Titanfall 2 was so amazing.
It was, yeah.
It just came out at a worst time possible.
They become transcendent if the developers are given time to kind of really understand their engine and their potential, and if they love it, you know, if the team sort of fractures and frays and people get into weird ego BS or whatever, then that can really hurt stuff. So I'm sorry, we're not listening to Patrick. What's he talking about? Need for Speed is not Robert Harris's favorite game. Rukia, X-Play Network, love Spy Hunter. God, that was so good. It's just sitting there. All those Midway games are just sitting there.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything with them.
Psyops, Vic's favorite game.
Psyops was great. Okay, this is brand new. Look at that nose. Holy mackerel. Ah, sweet. This is from IO.
This is the game that is in the schedule.
So EA is working with IO Interactive. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah?
I'm sure you have good reasons to bust out of here, but I need to get out of here too.
Yeah? Not my problem.
David Chapman has the schedule of everything that's going to be happening today.
Co-op adventure.
No, not IO. Who is it? Who made? I thought Brothers was made by IO. Maybe it's X Brothers.
It's pitch black.
IO, I mean.
Screw it. I'll go first. Oh, crap!
You okay?
Co-op.
No, it's like Last of Us, Uncharted.
You have a problem?
Yeah, I got a problem with you.
I don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah,
love you, buddy.
it's really fun.
What are you doing here?
She's my daughter, too. See? Problem solved.
Come on, Leo!
Yeah, I'm sure.
Way Out.
That looks great.
That looks
So
really good.
Prison Break type thing. That's what we want, EA. We want surprises. We want cool stuff there.
I'm a little bit worried
Hazellight.
about the co-op factor in it, but the story visually looked
and I'm
awesome.
the writer-director of A Way Out.
Looks awesome.
Very cool.
I'm so excited to be here and show you the game. So, after I finished Brothers, I wanted to make another game that pushed the boundaries on how to tell stories.
Why are you worried about cooperative play? They pulled it off with Brothers. You used each of the sticks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Together with the team behind Brothers.
Johnny, I would imagine so.
Originals was perfect for this because we have the full creative freedom and trust from EA to deliver the game.
Kane and Lynch, yeah, there was potential in Kane and Lynch, but God, those guys were so ugly, and they just did the ugly things.
That game was.
It made me feel sick.
It was okay. It was
Yeah.
not the
Yeah,
greatest
they're
franchise.
cock-killing just assholes.
And the quality of the game was all right too.
Where the characters had unique personalities and goals. A game where
I have not seen the Conquer Bad Fur Day virtual reality. Is that new? Or did they?
No, I don't think they've announced that. I mean,
Okay.
there was.
designed for split-screen co-op only.
Oh,
And
okay.
I mean,
So I haven't seen all the leaks, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
there haven't
'cause-
been a crazy amount.
Okay, I haven't seen. Well, I don't want everything spoiled either. I kind of want to not know every single thing and go, oh, here's the moment where that's coming, and here's you know, that's not.
Yeah,
fun for me.
couch, nice, right? Action. Finally, yeah. And
What was I going to say? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, wait, it's coming to me.
See? This guy's good.
Come on. Gameplay-wise, it's going to be crazy.
See? That's what we want. We want humans, man. We don't want robots.
Not everything, but a lot of stuff. They're gonna
Passion.
Be exploration.
I like this guy.
Driving, action. So you want to get.
Gotta hold Vic back here, guys.
I want real people, man. Like,
he's very genuine.
Don't script the shit out of everything. Come on, real people.
I will tell you, you will play a co-op game like never before. I know. I mean,
is it co-op in a sense where you can control two people, or is it just you have to play with another person?
I'm so pumped up, it's crazy. You don't know. I live, breathe this game.
Yes.
It's like it's gonna kick ass.
I love this.
So right now, I will.
This is what the room needs, man. You see the people responding to that?
Part of the game, but still, you're gonna get blown away. And I also want to say that I'm so proud and happy to be part of this industry. It's crazy how fun it is to be here and do these games.
God, that's exactly what we need.
Also, one last thing.
I love it.
Hello to my Hazelight team watching live from Sweden. Thank you. Goodbye.
Love this guy. Yeah. That's how you demo and show off a game.
Swedish
that was
passion.
awesome,
That's
man.
great,
I love that. Very cool.
Is there some more gameplay here?
Yeah, they're showing a bit more, yeah.
Experienced only in split-screen co-op, which means you have to play the game with a friend, either online or on your couch.
Oh, you have to play it online. There's no single player.
You play as Vincent.
No CPU.
Ah, okay.
Split screen? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not worried anymore. This is fantastic.
This looks great.
Maybe not. But Harvey killed someone very close to me. With or without you, I'm going after him.
Let me show you some of the
Who's that
scenarios
actor?
in the game. On the right side, you see Leo was already
He
in
sounds
prison.
very familiar.
On the left, you see Vincent, who just arrived. Now, if you look to the right again, you can see that Leo can be controlled, while Vincent is in a
Oh man, this is like a split screen Uncharted, you know,
/ Prison Break.
Yeah. Well, there was the whole prison sequence in Uncharted 4.
You can approach the scenario in different ways. Either get the cart with Vincent.
No, I got a good pack right here. I think it's got your name on it.
So the screen, that's so interesting. You can see they're playing. Is this how the aspect ratio is going to be? I guess.
Yeah, because they're showing story.
Yeah.
Right? And then on the other side, you're playing through the chunk. This is going to be fun. This looks great.
This looks awesome. Yeah.
See, this is the thing that games like The Last of Us and Uncharted do, right? They push the storytelling sort of aspirations for other titles out there.
This is what we want to see EA. This is some good risks.
This is just the beginning of what you will be experiencing in Way Out.
Do not have a problem with them. There are some incredible developers in Sweden too, man. Just amazingly talented game makers out there.
It's so cool. I love the way they're playing with the split screen.
Yeah. A Way Out.
That's great.
Couch co-op and online play.
Early 2018.
That looks great.
I know. Me again. Thank you, Joseph. That game is absolutely stunning, and I can't.
But he's also from Sweden, so there's a flip of the coin
now
right
let's
there.
Switch gears for just a minute. It's
He's a
great
good
to be
dude,
here
this
showing
Patrick
you the
Soderlund,
games you'll
but
play this
very
year.
serious guy.
But at the same time, we are inspired to look farther ahead. Creative ideas combined with new technologies become an unstoppable force. We have teams today taking technologies that are changing the world and using them to change the way we play.
He dressed for the occasion.
How are they going to add microtransactions to that game? Well, you could pay to get out of the prison early if you really want.
I wonder if it supports 21.9. That's a great question, Cake, because Samsung just released the craziest widescreen monitor. Have you seen this thing?
No,
it looks like a Photoshop. It just goes on for like it's probably this whole desk. It's so crazy.
Stealthy team that I work with on a daily basis.
Okay.
Exploring some of our most visionary concepts, like deep learning or neural networks. Creating
boy,
a world
slow
for
it
you
right
to
down to
define,
this.
interact with, and
Come
share as
on.
you wish.
What is this?
Or virtual humans with deeply sophisticated artificial intelligence. So instead of one main
they're gonna probably
character
end the
shared
show
by
off with
millions,
Star
we
Wars.
can
You gotta
have
imagine.
What the?
main
I mean,
characters
come
shared
on,
by
guys.
millions.
EA. seriously, this is the time for us to party with video games, you know?
We expected
Come on. You just had like Captain Energy come up on stage, who just killed it, and now it's just like, this is the seed program that we have. We're investing in developers, and we've got great technology. Okay.
Together, we are building that future. One that disrupts, empowers,
smile, Patrick. Like, honestly.
He's probably done this rehearsal about 50 times before this, Vic.
You know what, though? Like, this is entertainment, and this business needs to not forget that. It needs to always have that paramount in its mind. It needs to celebrate and be joyful. And
now these Madden NFL 18 visuals are just a taste of what can be accomplished combining Frostbite with Project Scorpio.
I mean,
and already
some of my deploy my caffeine, Alex. Right, exactly. Some of my favorite E3 demo moments are when nobody says a goddamn thing, and like I still remember Cliff Blazinski playing Gears of War, and he's like, "Hey guys," and he just plays the game. And Sony with
Sony knows
God of War.
Well,
right?
it's not even the gameplay demos. I remember when Sony, I forgot what year was it. It must have been 2014, 2015, where they were just like, it was 2014.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, yeah, it just goes like, I'm not going to say anything. Here's the next thing. Like, after they just showed us something
That was
crazy.
the theater performance one.
Was that the one where they showed Final Fantasy VII, I think? Was that the same
okay.
year?
Well, they've had a couple of, they've had a string of excellent conferences, but this is how you don't do it. This is how you do not do a successful
would have known
E3 press conference. I hate to be negative and just be talking over him. And, you know, I have mad respect for Patrick Sutherland and the executive pool there, but this is boring as hell, you know, and there's no way around it. And it's that stuff like this that makes me feel like it's a good thing we weren't there. Okay.
This is a new IP?
The wall.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Unless it's more Mass Effect. New.
It protects us from what lies beyond.
Holy
brand new.
It's like Horizon.
Okay.
But out there, you either live with the choices you make, or die trying to change them.
Anthem.
The story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning.
Oh, gotta wait for Xbox. Damn, that looked cool though.
Yeah.
That looked really, really cool.
Looks like a Scorpio game. NBA Live is back.
Everybody. I'm
We're
Sean
trying
Ryan,
it again.
And I'm here today.
No way.
Sean,
to
how you doing?
NBA Live 18.
Oh my God, Sean.
Are they actually
But
trying
instead
NBA
of
Live
talking
again?
about it,
He's a
I'd
good
like
dude.
to show you. We've spent the last 2 years completely overhauling virtually every aspect
This is
of gameplay.
the hot seat,
Now
toughest
we're gonna go
toughest
outside to a hands-on station out in
toughest
FanFest,
job in games. You
so you can
follow
check out some of those
brand new
improvements.
Bioware
Then,
IP revealed
here, let's give
with
you more
another
details
kick
about
at
how NBA Live 18 introduces
NBA
the
Live.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is hard though. I don't know.
We call it the one.
Man, okay. What was last year?
Sean's a good guy,
Thank
though.
you, Sean.
He's
You
been
look
there
fantastic.
forever.
Every single time I see you, we are here out at FanFest. EA Play. I want to see everyone on social. Use that hashtag. EA Play. Games you're excited to see. I am telling you right now.
No. They did one 2 years ago.
See a first look at NBA Live 18, and no one better in the business than my guy.
Blake,
right
when
here,
was the
creative
last
director,
NBA
Connor
Live
Dugan.
game?
Connor, let's take
Okay.
first look. NBA Live 18.
Yeah, what's up? I mean, I'm super excited that people finally get to get their hands.
Yeah.
on
We're not gonna count
NBA
the mobile
Live.
ones.
We're gonna take a look at a replay we just got. Q and I were playing.
Dogged determination.
Who's controlling KD?
Usman takeover.
Yeah. All right. So what we're looking at here is I'm using my right stick dribble control.
2015.
Any combination of
And
moves
it had some good things about it, but it was not anywhere near the quality of 2K games.
Or Q cuts me off with a flick of his left stick, and then I try to go back at him again. This time I'm going to go middle.
Looks great.
Q's late. He doesn't hit his left stick.
Yeah,
It's good, but it's like, you know,
it looks great, and they have the finals to just pull right from, right? It's clear in our minds right now. I haven't been watching, but you know, I'm reading all the stuff about the Cavs versus the.
I think Game 5
Warriors.
is during the Sony press conference.
Right.
I mean, it looks good.
Looks great.
But it's like NBA 2K is already so good.
I know.
It's going to be so difficult to even want to pick up another one.
And this isn't the way you sell the graphics. We don't want to see the tight shots. We want to see how it flows and
Thanks,
plays.
fellas.
in a regular game, right? And then you can show us what
Thank
we
you.
just
We're
saw.
excited for
what we just
all
saw
of
in
you to get your
Tights.
hands
And there
on
are
NBA
some
Live
things EA
18.
does better, like you
And
talked about
everyone
before,
will have
their
an
facial
opportunity to
recognition,
do
the
so
face
through a
scanning
free
stuff,
demo
like
coming
they
in
do
August.
so well, right?
Yes.
Now this
Yes.
demo will give
EA is
everyone
totally
the
on
chance
top
to
of
start
a
the
lot
one
of things, but I
and
don't
be
know, man. I'm
introduced
a
to
little
this new
worried.
basketball world.
2K's got such a legacy.
Usman Takeover, I did want to see them, and I think it is a good risk. You know what? And if NBA Live does well enough, that gets us closer to, I think, something that a lot of us NBA fans want, which is this doesn't look that great. Which is
slow down the ropes, all right?
Which is NBA Jam, NBA Street.
Yeah, instead of doing this, if they came out with NBA Street right now, everyone would have been so excited.
The one,
but they gotta pick up
play
the ball and try again. I mean, Usman is right.
Here, the respect you earn on the streets matters just as much.
They always
as the
can get the players, the characters. They're great with that. I think that's one of the things I think we're using Frostbite for this too.
Your way to winning championships.
They have a story mode here that they want to show us because they're gonna need to compete.
Taking you into the streets, where the rules and how you earn respect are different. Team up with friends to take down NBA legends at historic courts like Venice Beach. Throughout your journey, your on-court performance leads to increased skills and new gear as your hype builds in both the streets and the league. From Venice to Rucker Park and everywhere in between. Join the community with 5-on-5 pickup games at iconic, real-world courts. Hit the Drew League and continue to build your legacy in the Pro-Am Tour. Earn the right to go head-to-head with the very best and show off your signature style.
They had such a long, great
from
run
East
in Vancouver.
Coast to West Coast,
and they picked
from the
up
streets
and moved, and they
to
had
the
some
league.
big problems. And
Everything
Elite
you do
in
matters.
NBA
Your
Elite
legacy is
11
defined by
was a
you
very
and
accessible
how you
game, but they
choose to play.
canceled it. I got
This
the
is your
review
world.
build,
It's
and
time
then
for
they canceled
you
it 2 weeks
to
later.
be
So it
the
was
one.
like it was ready to be pressed. You know, I got the final game. I was like, here's your code, review the game, and then they canceled the game.
Holy God.
I've never had that happen on any other title before.
So this was NBA
Elite. Yeah, they were changing over from live to Elite. They brought back live. Well, I mean, now what they got to do, no matter how good or bad or disappointing or wonderful this game is, they can never not keep making it again. Because if they stop again, no one's going to believe in this franchise ever again.
To imagine that, I don't know, if this doesn't do well, that they are going to stop.
They can't. I mean, honestly, that's it. They might as well just pack it up.
EA's going to need to put a lot of money into obviously promoting it, which they will. I know that.
That's their only play here. That's their only future. Like if they're going to lock up that investment and sort of that growth pattern forever with EA, they eventually need to win that NBA.
Thanks, guys.
And they need
And
to.
thanks to
It's
all
got to
the
be a
teams
war of
here
attrition, I
sharing
think, with
games
2K,
today.
right?
And a special
I
thanks
think they're
to
gonna have to
Joseph and
accept
Hazelight.
maybe getting a
How
loss
about
for the
that
first
some
couple of years
passion?
of this game being released, and if
Yeah.
they're going to do that, because it's
Now
to
we've
the
got a
point
massive
now
finale
that,
coming
you
up here
know,
in just a
Pimp
moment.
Logic, I want a new fight
30
night. That would be
minutes
amazing.
of pure, unadulterated Star
They
Wars.
should do NBA Live Cross
but
Titan
before
Power, where
we
the
get
players
there, I
play
want to
against
just one.
Titans. I hate basketball, but I
week we
play
did
that.
something pretty amazing.
Giant Titans with basketball.
Toy Owen's got a career in game development right there.
That's awesome. I'd play that. I'd play the hell out of
Oh,
that
thank you,
game.
Doongie, forever.
And in life.
Very sweet.
We
Thank you very
partnered with
much.
3 outstanding
Crowd claps
charities,
politely.
the United Nations Youth Achievement
Usman
and
takeover, you rock.
anti-bullying organizations,
David
the
Chapman
Center
right now
and
just
Digital
letting us
Labor.
know the entire schedule.
Yeah. Battlefront incoming after this. Apparently, David Chapman is working.
We
the prompt for
donated
that,
$1 million
the
to
EA
these
program.
3 great organizations
Yeah.
in support of building a more inclusive world.
With
And
single
here's where
player.
play comes in. All of you. Our millions of players
Comment,
out
Fight
there
Night
joined us
reboot,
in
Mayweather
supporting
McGregor. Sounds
We put
great.
that in play
Yeah, in the front of the front
9
cover.
in-game
Yeah,
challenges.
hilarious.
And by coming together, we are showing
30 minutes of
the
Star Wars.
world
That'd be great.
what a
Fight Night with
positive
another.
force
Because
that
Fight
games
Night always
can
had
be.
like a story
And
mode
thank you for
attached
that.
to it.
Yeah,
We're opening
Fight Night
ways
Champion.
for you to play
Amazing.
a bunch of great games for free. Starting today.
Star Wars is coming!
Origin Access, as
Did
well
you
as
see
the
that
Ultimate
ass-slapping
EA
high-quality
access are
1080p?
free. For PlayStation
Feature.
4 players, we'll also have a bunch
Who's
of
the
free
other guy?
trials
I'm
running
late. Hi,
all
other
week.
guy. This is Behr Safi, Baruti on the YouTube.
YouTube world.
Yes.
I'm just here helping out Vic, all right?
So
I'm
jump
just
in.
writing
Bring
down
your
notes
friends.
for him.
And he's a shooter and an editor and a commentator, works in the esports world all the time as well. And
for fighting games, not for this stuff.
Star Wars
not for
Battlefront
sports.
Not for sports.
Yeah.
Not for us.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. Oh, John
here we
Wayne.
go. Whoa.
Oh my god. This is it.
Was that,
That's a real tweet.
That tweet really?
That's a real tweet,
Yeah? Wow.
I know this because I go to the Battlefront Reddit every other day.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Yes, here we go.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We should turn that down. I don't want to get flagged for the music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen eventually. Hello. There you go.
Okay. Oh, she's in the game.
I'm Janina Gavankar, and I play Commander Iden Versio, leader of the Inferno Squad in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Damn, she's pretty intense.
No, she's not there to have a good time. She will
I'm
kill you.
also an advocate for in-depth cinema caliber story in games.
Gun pointed at her head.
That tweet from John Boyega was like the tweet heard around the world. It spoke for all of us. When can we play a Star Wars story? We don't want to just relive the movies. We've watched them a million times. What we want to do is have a new and authentic, untold story.
Don't hate on Darth Maul, all right? I love Darth Maul.
New perspectives and enables us
Darth
to
Maul's
play
gonna be
as
fun.
some of
Couch
our
co-op
favorite
in this
Star
game.
Wars characters, while also
David Chapman
introducing
reading off the prompter.
new ones. And just like Rogue One tells an essential Star Wars story ahead of A New Hope, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will tell a new Star Wars story that helps bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's good. But EA didn't just stop there. We loved the previous Battlefront of 2015, but we wanted more. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is much bigger than the previous title, with more than 3 times the content of the first game.
Who is hyped for Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Now, I'm all about that.
Come on, put your hands
co-op,
up.
And they're bringing it
I'm
back.
so excited.
Put your hands up. We're looking at you through your
So I'm
computers.
going to be cuddling up with someone playing me some Battlefront.
Yes, a VR mode. Give us a full
In
VR
multiplayer,
X-Wing game.
there are more heroes, more vehicles, more planets. I've been to some of them. More space battles and starfighter assault, and deeper
Nice.
progression and customization, as well as content from across all eras. But, as we know, Star Wars is not just some checklist of great features. How does Battlefront 2 play?
Yes.
The team at DICE in Stockholm has some of the most talented multiplayer designers in the world.
This is an
and
amazing
they've
team.
been working
Yeah.
with the EA Game Changers to make sure Star Wars Battlefront 2 has the multiplayer we're all looking for. These
great
Game
looking footage here.
Changers,
I
they
love this
basically
stuff.
get like tapped on the shoulder because they're the best Battlefront
Yeah.
players in the world, and then they get secretly
No
flown out to
controllers will be
Stockholm.
seen in the shot.
As long as they provide valuable feedback, they get an early look at the game. Sounds like an awesome program, and if I didn't suck at multiplayer, maybe I'd get an invite. It's true. So let's hear more from them about their time at DICE.
All right.
After the release of Star Wars Battlefront 1, the community thought there should have been more. And the good news is this, the developers have been listening.
Dropped your pen.
That's how good it was. I dropped my
Game
pen.
Changers get their hands on a game.
This is gonna stay, right? Sorry? The clean UI look is gonna stay?
There's still time to change something if it's not working.
See, if we didn't all buy the first game,
Oh my
this is how it works.
My first impression
we don't
with the
get
game
the
is
sort of
upgraded. All
new
3 eras are
smorgasbord
gonna
of
be in the
brand
game.
new stuff in the sequel, right?
No, Darth Maul's coming at me! Oh, okay,
We've got a whole bunch of new
Is it?
features. One of the biggest ones that a lot of fans are excited about is the class system.
They split
Oh,
the
yeah?
characters up into different classes. They have different weapons,
okay.
special abilities that you can customize.
It affects your health. It affects.
Oh,
it's
the
like
guy
a-
that
it's like
says,
There's gonna be more
okay.
content.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here and over the. Okay, I love that.
Listen to this. It's like a class-based system. I think they're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
The gunplay and the weapons have completely been redone compared to
Oh,
the first
you can
Battlefront.
aim down sights now.
There is a lengthened skill
Like,
gap in it.
You're always able to
Feels
zoom in
a lot
before,
better
but
and go, oh, okay, this gun feels kind of more real, less floaty.
Which is your favorite hero so far?
We're introducing a system called Battle Points, which will allow you to become not only
want it to
heroes, but other
feel
things
like
on the battlefield.
As you're helping your team play the objective, you gain these points.
There's such a plethora of things to spend it on, vehicles, or even coming in as a hero.
And the coolest thing, I think, is a level of customization, not just from a weapon standpoint, but the actual character's own abilities.
So they have the card system still from the first one.
Collaborating with the game changers is always a really great working environment when you're trying to figure things out.
I mean, to know that you're giving key feedback to make it a better experience for everybody, it's like putting your footprint out there and saying, look, I'm part of this.
Is everyone in position?
Yeah. Ready?
Everyone ready?
So I'm going to participate in making the trailer. It's a whole different level of fantasy.
All right, recording. So 3, 2, 1. And now, on behalf of the EA Game Changers and DICE, this is the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer gameplay.
Goodness. Gotta get up close for this. Let's see this.
This is what we paid our money for.
Yeah, this is what I want to see. Let's go, EA.
This is the ticket price right here.
Wow. This looks like amped up Battlefront 2 from 2005.
Right, exactly, right? The prequels gave us some good settings.
Yeah,
they were.
I agree. I think some of the really epic battles too, which I like.
They were really broken movies, but they gave us some cool toys, you know?
Oh my goodness, let's go, Maul.
The clone troopers and oh my god! Oh yes! Yes!
Oh my god.
This totally feels like or looks like Battlefront 2 from Pandemic. Wow.
The Chewie? Let's go, Chewie. Looks so much better than he did in the
Oh
DLC.
my god. Like, good luck every other game that comes out around this thing. Holy crap.
Oh my goodness. Look at the asteroid. This looks like Star Wars VR.
Oh my god.
The Battlefront VR mission.
Oh, come on! Just that little taste? Come on, let's see some more. Okay, here's the single player story.
They are unusual.
They're not dropping the ball here, it looks like. This looks amazing.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, yes!
That was damn good.
Crowd
Damn
erupts. I guess they had to kind of get everything else out of the way.
Yoda, Darth Maul, Wookiees, Kylo Ren versus Rey. I watched that thing like 20 times backstage with my mom before this even started. My mom's here. Yes, it's a big day for me. I'm sorry. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So we have even more exciting things for you. In just a moment, YouTube personality iJustine, shoutcaster Alex Goldenboy Mendez, and DICE developer Paul Kesslin will showcase Assault on Theed, the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer. Yep. We've got 39 game changers ready to go, head-to-head in a 20 versus 20 match, Battle on Theed, and I'm gonna take the 40th slot.
All right, so we're gonna see a gameplay.
We'll see. Okay, but you're not gonna want to miss this because, like, maybe you've seen some teasers, but this is the real thing, okay? All the bells and whistles.
Come on, tell us when the
all
beta is gonna
newness.
happen,
But
EA.
before we take you there, another big Star Wars Battlefront fan has some exciting news.
Hi guys, it's John Boyega here. Thought I wasn't gonna turn up. Yes, I was, but I'm sorry I can't be there with you because I'm doing a play in London. But I do have some great news. Obviously, you know I'm a massive fan of Star Wars Battlefront 1, and now we're going into the next chapter with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm very, very excited to share this news with you. We've seen Yoda, we've seen Luke, we've seen all the other characters, but where's Finn? Finn will definitely be a part of Star Wars Battlefront 2, alongside with Captain Phasma as part of the first season of free content. Hero. And there's more. On top of that, we also get to play on the new planet Crate that you saw on the Last Jedi teaser trailer in April. So this is going to be an exciting time. I'm going to be playing. If you see Finn running around whooping some ass, it's me. So I'm already getting set for you guys to play with me on Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I really like this
and
guy, man.
I'm excited.
He's so charming.
Let's play.
Genuine love. And he really is a fan. I remember why he was looking for people to play
Finn
with.
and
And he was just
Phasma are
tweeting at
headed
the
to
fans.
Star Wars
Yeah,
Battlefront
he's
2
cool.
this holiday, and it will be free. Yes. The team at DICE heard our feedback loud and clear on the previous Battlefront and are committed to keeping this community together with themed seasons of content post-launch for all players at no additional charge.
Whoa! That's some news.
Hold the hell on. Is this an EA press conference?
Whoa.
This is not an EA press conference.
Yeah, well, the content, but I guess the
there will be microtransactions, without a doubt. There's no way.
Everyone who owns Star Wars Battlefront 2.
there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
That's awesome.
And yesterday,
Titanfall 2 model. There we go, Kev Gret. You were right on the money, man.
Oh, fall 2017.
There it is.
So we don't know. That's the game's coming out in fall 2017.
Yeah.
So we're hoping September.
Coming up September, I think, isn't it? Very soon.
New essential Star Wars story. Multiplayer across all 3 Star Wars eras. Space battles.
If this isn't the biggest selling
co-op,
game of
and free
2017,
content that will keep us playing together.
this has got to be it, right?
Yeah.
This has got to be we're looking at it right here. What sells more than this?
Yes.
And I always believed in the team at DICE too. Like I even as lacking as the first one maybe was in the single player stuff, I still played the hell out of it, and I knew they got
it's November 14th release date. They announced it already.
And I can't wait to play the game in its
But
entirety
beta is in
November.
fall,
and
which
I get to
means,
start right now. So
September.
I'm gonna go pick up my controller and I'm gonna throw it over to iJustine and Golden Boy and Paul to take us to Assault on Theed.
She was
the
great.
World premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer.
Look at her. She was fantastic. She's the lead.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome to
this.
the world premiere of Star Wars Battlefront 2's multiplayer gameplay, Assault on Theed. We're ready to show you guys the live gameplay for the first time. I'm your host, iJustine, and with me here today, we've got
I
Golden
hope this is
Boy
actually
and Paul
live.
Kessler,
Yeah, it looks like it is.
producer from DICE. What have we got going on here today, guys?
We got a lot going on today. First of all, what we're going to see today is a
Right.
3-stage mode. It's our new gameplay. We'll be showing the.
It does put the last game to shame,
people going,
absolutely.
the
Zelda
feed,
won't be the
they'll
biggest
going
selling
all the
game
way up
of
the main
just
pathway
because
towards
the
Royal
install
Palace,
base
and you
isn't that
escort
big.
The MTT tank. From there, if we progress to stage 2,
I think
the
Horizon
droids
actually
need to try
outsold
to
Zelda.
bypass security, make their way into the palace itself.
Yeah.
If they're successful, they'll be able to take on the throne room, and there the droids will ideally try to capture that from the clone army. Unfortunately, the clone army's still there, needs to try to push him out and make that last
Very much
stand.
like Battlefield
here and appreciate the fact that we get to meet droids
it's gonna feel like that.
in Star Wars. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Are you guys excited? Man, you guys gotta come alive over here because we're gonna see some great gameplay. We have some great game changers who are gonna be competing here, and I use competing as a term because these guys are holding nothing back. Just
Yeah, no, it's been super exciting, and we got a chance to play yesterday, and it's just really fun to sort of get into this environment. You know,
It totally reminds me of the pandemic game, and that was such an amazing classic experience too. It's one of my favorite multiplayer memories was playing Battlefront 2.
Yeah, so much fun.
It's ridiculous. Now this looks.
Honestly, I don't want to even undermine. Like, I know a lot of people gave it hate, but the Battlefront that came up before this
was awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah,
I
super
really
cool.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
AKA Dankness. He will be playing as well. We have Wesley.
what's going on? Why are we seeing 2K? I mean, NBA Live.
That was weird.
What was this? What's going on?
That's live. That's live.
Oh my goodness.
Now this is awesome.
The technical director is going to get fired.
Somebody just had the lightsaber go right through them.
Yeah, it's a gameplay. I love this. Yeah, third person.
They do, definitely. The droids are sitting there trying
probably
to
still
escort that
switch to
MTT up
first
the main
person,
pathway.
but
If they're successful, we go on to that phase 2. But right now
this
we're
is
seeing some
amazing.
special
Yeah, they kept the
gameplay
same.
from I
It
think
looks like
Battlefront updates.
somewhat the same
Yeah, let's
engine
actually
too.
talk about the specialists, and also you're going to see a couple different classes here. This class in particular that Massive G is using is the
It's like
heavy
a bubble
class.
shield you can shoot out of. This is
Pioneer
OP.
Sniper, right? But the
Exactly.
heavy class, what do they do here?
So the heavy class is great. They got a bit more health.
They're
than
running
the
this on
average trooper.
PCs for
They're
right
also
now,
able
Rich.
to pop that combat
I'm
shield,
telling
try
you
to
guys,
push
the
in
lure
areas.
of the
You see
Paisley
those guys
Schwartz is
pushers
too
or
strong.
defenders in some areas. But it looks like we got one of our Vulture droids right now. Not sure who's flying this
cameo
guy,
in
but
Star Wars
these guys are
Battlefront
great
2.
at air-to-air, trying to take out those other ships that might be coming in.
Off-topic comment: Did they ever find out where Breath of the Wild falls into the Zelda timeline? That is off-topic. Yeah.
So we were talking about NBA Live.
No idea.
We were talking
No
about
idea on the
NBA
specs, Rich.
NBA Live marketing, and
Yeah.
that was the NBA Live marketing.
Yeah,
that
it
you
was.
saw there. While everyone was paying most attention, they brought NBA Live on the screen. just
NBA is
for all
coming
of
out
it.
too.
Yeah,
NBA Live.
Don't forget about this, guys. Don't forget about this.
Subliminal.
But we see here a little clip of the V-Wing.
It's very early.
Doing that.
Man.
Oh man, he's just mowing some
It's
droids
like
down
this.
there.
These are brand new environments in the
No,
game.
I don't want
It's
to say
very
very
early.
early though, but I don't know because the game's coming out in what,
It's still
4 months.
Yeah, you know they come in hot, right? Like
Yeah.
they're finishing them right up to the last thing. They're still working on art for this for sure.
Players will fear the skies.
And there's definitely like optimization is like the last 90 days, right? And they're cranking. So all the level of detail and all the loading and all that stuff, that is like the last stuff that gets
taking
done.
out those clone troopers, but this Vulture droid is really stepping it up.
What I love about this is everyone's like, oh, look at this great open map, and then when you start phase 2, it's like everything starts
Right now they're
coming
dealing
in
with
and coming way closer together.
a
And we're talking
live setting
more
of
about the
40
assault class.
players
So for
on
somebody
screen at the
who
same
just started
time
playing
in
this,
front of
never
an
played
audience of
previous versions,
hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, and they have to make the characters do what they're supposed to do. That's what their main priority is.
That's painful. The assault class is something
And the
that
ships.
a lot of players will be able to jump
Right.
right into. They're your frontline flanker
Right now, you can
attacker.
see
I
they're
think
moving
gonna be
through the
fairly
phase
easy.
system,
You
it
can get
looks
right
like
in
here.
and just start
Yeah.
having your typical run and gun action. Their signature ability.
Awesome.
You can see
There's
here
so
on
much
top of the
detail.
screen,
These
your
little
Yeah,
number two.
absolutely.
That switches you over to a shotgun.
This team was born to do this, you know. My only hope is, and I've asked this of the DICE people along the way and the EA people, is that some of the pandemic core ended up working on this too, because they really took it to a different level with the Battlefront, the previous iterations of Battlefront. They did such a great job.
Dogfighting here between the clones and the separatists. This is
The
certainly
dogfights
what a lot
they've
of
gotten
folks
better
love in
throughout
Star
patches
Wars,
of
and just
Battlefront. I
really
really hope
game
they
that
made them
DICE
even
makes, right?
better
They
in this
just
one.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I
there was
did
still, there was
love
still a
the-
little bit too much of this just chasing around.
I did love the just the dogfight mode, but now we get to go in outer space. Can't wait. But there is some space stuff in some of the DLC.
Yeah.
And there are
But they were
different
never,
weapons
like,
as well. Like one of the guns that I would oftentimes use was the semi-automatic gun. It fires.
Yeah, this is accessible shooter
And then there's also this
underlined. You know, this is like a shooter for everyone.
That's what I love about it. I think that's what it has to be. You
Yeah.
can't make it super complicated and make the control. That's what I loved about this game. Was just it's so easy to pick up, but there's also depth to it, right? Things, small things like positioning matter so much.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to be out in the open like this guy is.
as the objective continues to march down. He has to get away from that.
He's trying to. I don't know. Is he trying to flank the tank? That's not smart.
I don't know, man. Maybe
Yeah, it's oblique, right?
Gotta give you some
Yeah,
escape
it's not
options
clear.
in case you get into
That's
some-
one of the cool things about the clones.
Oh, we didn't get to see this one before. Finally,
Oh, we haven't.
Some ATRTs.
Why? Because
Yeah.
it's
So these are
no. I
great
think
for
it's
taking
that
out those ATRs.
what Lucas is
These
saying
guys are
through
quick,
that is that
they
it's
have an
messy.
ion
It's
charge
all
ability,
messy.
they'll
It's all
be able to deal with
interwoven.
it
It's
more
very
extra
hard
damage
to
against
tell
the tanks.
who's
They
on the
see
good
it.
side and on the
So you
light
can
side.
imagine like 3 or 4 of these on the
I
battlefield.
mean, it really takes the Jedi getting wiped out for there to be a clear line in the sand. They couldn't even tell that the Emperor was the senator. You know, they couldn't figure it out, and he's right beside him. It took all of this carnage to happen. They just told the story in a poor way, and they put Jar Jar into the damn thing, and they put a terrible kid in as Anakin. We all know we love Jar Jar. Do not love Jar Jar.
We did. One of my favorite classes.
Yeah, but that's like the source of the Clone
my
Wars.
Twitch bills aren't
Because
released.
Disney owns all of that stuff. They'll remake all of those things again.
But I'm
They'll
able
go
to
back into
really
that
buff
and
up
redo
my
it again
class,
at some
buff up my
point.
teammates. Try to
Absolutely.
let them get some extra health, let them push through the
They're going to
skyscraper.
remake all of Star Wars, 100%. In 50 years, 100 years, they will redo all of it.
Okay.
So what's great about
Maybe
what's great about
less.
some of these starfighters is these are access through
And maybe they'll remake it with digital actors of the people.
Blake
Yeah.
cannot wait for Phantom Menace remastered. Come on, Blake. We all know that. This looks fantastic, guys. This is so. I'm really excited. I like that they kept the base gameplay and the core mechanics
Yes.
fairly the same.
Yes.
or even a hero.
the battle points that allows you to unlock all of those things.
All those.
I don't know if I want to play as a battle droid though. I'll be honest with you.
I don't care.
Like the base battle droid. Like what a useless unit.
Yeah,
right?
but
like just the use like.
What's more exciting than being a base battle droid that just kills 10 people in a row? That's the coolest part of it all.
It might as well be like my little BB-8 thing that you can beat with the remote control on my phone.
Let's not go too far because if there's BB-8 in this game, you know that you'd be
I would want
to
to be BB-8, absolutely.
Okay, wow, they didn't have that before.
Support his team, right?
Vehicles
It's
used
like
to just
combined arms
explode
fire.
in previous Battlefront, and now they actually looks like they
hit
fly and they'll hit stuff. That's awesome.
This looks so good.
How many points
Means that if someone now gets exploded probably close to the ground, they'll probably kill the people down.
And so in the specialist class, you can also deploy
that's gonna
different types of traps.
User will surrender to the dark side of the Force.
Please, Jar Jar, please be a hero, Jar Jar.
These are so happy that Battlefront 2 looks so much better.
I want to see Blake and Vic kill themselves right now. We see Jar Jar as a hero. Let's go.
More bombing runs here and just absolutely tearing them up. I have to say, man, Musok is killing it in this world.
Again.
This is good though. They're giving this a lot
You see
of
there
time.
one of the officer classes right next to one of the clones.
Officer, fantastic for pushing, right? You want to be able to push the objective.
Yoda's new, right?
Support your team, like
We get Yoda, like Yoda wasn't in the previous one.
He wasn't in the previous one,
Yeah.
no, but he was in obviously the original Battlefront 2.
Yes.
He was
I mean, they really help push, when those heavies are trying to drive towards a point, you got your officers behind you, giving you some extra health, making sure that you're still able to complete that push. Or on the opposite side, if you're one of the droids and you really need to lock down a point, the officers have access to a turret that they can place on the ground and give a little bit more fire support for that area.
Trying to see if Massive G here is, he's
It's so
really
weird to
focused
see
on the
this
bombing
as like
runs, right? He's
set
not
up as an
trying to
e-sport.
Go into combat with.
Well, yeah, I don't know if this is what they're going for. I don't think they're going to even try to do this as an e-sport because this is not. These games are really, really fun to play.
Yeah, this is happening.
But they're not as
Tell
fun
us
to
about the
watch.
siege mode. How does this play out?
In siege
Well, I
mode,
mean,
for
they
a limited
would
time,
be
you're
to
able
the
blow up
casual
huge area effect
viewer
shots,
that knows
lock
about
down
Star
positions,
Wars.
but you're able to have
There's
a lot
only
more
so
firepower.
much you can watch. I think with
Yeah.
esports, you've got to start. You really got to. You got to target towards the hardcore, and the casual gamers will come because they see the passion in the hardcore and they see that there's all this depth to it.
Rory the robot has the penultimate question here: is the vehicle symbol craft back? And I know that they were thinking about changing that. I don't know what the answer is yet, though. I haven't seen anybody run up to a vehicle. I wanted the vehicles to just be out and on the ground, and you can run up to them.
If I had to make an estimated
Battlefield.
guess right now,
Yeah.
a guesstimation, I would say that's what it is. I haven't seen a single icon on screen.
He's gonna make a huge difference here.
Right.
And they're usually they spawn around every.
Oh, here's Darth Maul.
Switch off to Darth Maul.
He's behind them.
It's gonna be trouble.
Imagine there's 40 people playing, so they have like 40 inputs. The TV has to.
There he
They
is.
have to find Darth Maul.
There he is. Very cool. Oh my goodness.
Starts to get interesting.
You better not die.
Look at this.
Blake, I know this is your favorite character. Come on, get a little excited.
Especially because it's such close quarters too. So he's
I hope they got Ray Park in.
Oh, let's go.
As the voice.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it'd be sweet if he did the mocap. He still can jump around.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was talking
Ray
to
Park
himself
is awesome.
earlier, and he was using Darth
Just
Maul,
Ray
and
Park.
He was saying,
Ray Park,
there's
yeah.
Boba Fett as well. But he was talking about
He
how
goes
wishes
to conventions and
Darth
stuff
Maul
now.
could
I
Yeah.
think is like his main full-time gig.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's always energetic. And
So Boba Fett is in here, but it was Jango Fett back then. I guess it doesn't matter. They mix up.
I think they're saying forget the lore.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is definitely a hunter killer. So if the clone army's able to get some of their heroes in play,
Yeah, this is
where Boba Fett will really shine.
I
And
love
that
Boba
jetpack
Fett in
of
the
his
first
is able
one.
to kind of float above the
It was so good.
battlefield,
Especially in
fire
the
off some rockets,
trees.
really just take out
Yeah, he was the most scumbag
Yeah.
character. He
Yeah.
just like flies. They just shoot people
In the last
from
game,
a high
he given
point.
new tricks. He's got a new concussion rocket that will really disorient players completely. He also has
Yeah,
this rocket
that's
barrage
actually.
instead of just one
I
rocket.
guess that confirms it. Whether they're saying forget the lore
Yeah.
of the stages, we're just gonna do a crazy. If you want to play Kylo Ren,
You can
versus
probably lock it off when you're building up your own custom game. You could probably make it.
That's the thing that held the first game back so much is because I think they were trying to stick so closely to the lore and trying to be so true
Yeah.
to the games that it kind of held them back in the long run, where they couldn't do these crazy matchups.
The what ifs.
Yeah, the what ifs. And I think that's what Battlefront's all about.
Sure, absolutely.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Killed 5 people.
That's so good.
Oh, they got him though. Down.
Jesse
was able to find him on that one, but here comes some officer gameplay here.
Oh, good. Finally, somebody playing some support.
Support people matter too.
They do.
You gotta give them some love.
We're the linchpin of the team, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Now, what is his 2 exactly? His 2 is the healing ability?
His 2 ability is that, yeah, exactly. It's that healing ability.
Yeah, that's a great point, David. That's what single player is for, I think, is to keep the lore all intact. For multiplayer, just have fun. Let it go crazy.
And here we go. It's getting ready.
Farmer's saying that the stormtroopers are hitting folks, so this is not accurate. But they're clone troopers. Clone troopers could actually shoot, I think. And is that Rey out there? I think we're going to see a Rey versus Darth Maul thing happen.
But I'm going to be excited to hop in a jump trooper and shred.
I hope they make clashes a little easier.
A lot of people love
Oh, yes!
Oh, God, look at this.
Where'd she go? Oh, there she is.
Running. She's running, Ray. Come on. Luke taught you better.
Yeah, well, no, she's still in training. You wouldn't want to go up against Darth Maul if you're in training like that.
No, but Ray has
Look at this.
Darth Maul's killed a lot.
Oh my God! Everybody's just gonna want to be Maul.
All enemies, they'll be confused for a little bit.
So cool.
Kind of, work against you, making you.
You don't like it, Blake?
Except Blake. Blake's like.
Blake wants to see Star Trek Battlefront. That's what Blake wants to see.
He's anti anything to do with the prequels, which I understand.
Oh, let's go Han Solo. Okay, someone gonna play Solo.
Han, yeah.
Are we gonna get some Han?
I hope so.
The models look much better. I just saw that little glimpse of Han, and I know it had the little scan lines, but yeah, it looks great. I mean, this game, they didn't do a 4K patch or anything to it, the first one. And it still looks so fantastic.
Absolutely.
When it was upscaled to 4K.
Absolutely.
Trying to be mobile.
I can't imagine how this is.
Han Solo would just get murdered. Like he would be running. That's Han Solo.
But you know what? His gameplay fits though. With Han Solo, you play a little bit defensive like that. If you want to really maximize on the character, he's very hide and run away sort of deal.
So how many? So we have Boba Fett. Is Darth Maul still alive?
They could really run through this. Opponents have to
And Han Solo's in there now too.
If they cap it, that will be
When you start getting to the later phases, they start putting like 4 or 5 heroes on the teams at once.
Oh, great.
So, I mean, that's how it was in the first game, and it looks like that's what the point was gotten to.
Okay.
So the last phase, there'll be a lot of heroes here.
Jump and ship. I understand that. No loyalties. Maybe
we haven't seen any of the icons though. Where do people know to pick up the thing?
I think it's randomly choosing people depending on performance, because we saw that little glimpse. He was in the character select screen.
Okay.
And I don't know. It looked like Han was just an auction.
Okay.
So. Do you have any sort of strategies that you would?
That's true. Exactly. They may have not finalized it either, but I don't think they're
the
gonna
multiplayer is a mix of it all. Farmer.
Han just died.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he just.
I mean, that's what would happen. Like Han against Darth Maul.
Is there any tips to like taking him down?
I'm pretty sure that was Han.
Combined arms fire.
Yeah.
The tip is blasters.
Run away. Maybe run away.
Run away and just shoot the crap out of
Look at
Darth
that
Maul.
MVP.
Oh man.
He was our MVP.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice stuff.
They have just underlined that Darth Maul is the character everybody wants to be.
Darth Maul nerfs incoming.
Yeah, totally. Very good.
Actually, I'm lying.
So now let us play some single player. Let's see a little bit of the first chunk of Star Wars Battlefront. The single player, right?
Get your squad, your friends to get together and say like, hey, I want to, run the officer, and we're running.
Come on, guy. We all saw that.
Because although maybe it wasn't.
Let's take a look at some of these outfits.
Oh, actually, I think it's just
okay, these are the highlight reels.
We're gonna do at this point. It's just all crashing all the time. I'm down with that.
But it was Musak. I mean, he's sitting there, getting as many battle points as he can before his next life. I mean, that's what you want to do.
There are some icons right now.
You want to either snowball your points, keep earning them.
Wait, did you see some on the map?
Yeah.
More and more things.
Okay.
And
they're probably things like the bubble shield and like some of the stronger items that you can't always have. There's things that let you see people on the radar for a short amount of time, like the scanning.
It looks so good. It's so hard to just watch people play this, right?
This is a game you want to play.
Yes.
Like that's why,
that's honestly, that's one of my things with the whole streaming thing is like I just start to get antsy. I want a controller in my hand,
It looks so pretty. Just look at this laser fire. It's intense, and it looks beautiful.
It really does look incredible.
So good. I was just gushing right now. Like we get it. The game looks good. Definitely. That was awesome. And overall, I mean,
yeah, that's a great point actually from Blake.
Like, I can't wait to
how
get
good the
my hands
audio
on it.
design
I can't
was.
wait
You guys
to
couldn't
play
hear
with
him.
my friends, you know,
That's so true.
And destroy the clone scum. I can't wait for that. Yeah, you know, exactly. Separatists all day.
So I'm curious,
Well,
you know,
guys,
the
that was
first
so
game
awesome.
used
Now, if you
some
guys are in
sort of
LA, you can
form
come
of
join us at FanFest
photo
this weekend.
software.
And if you
You
come
get
down on
pictures from the
Monday,
movie
we've got a
and then
chance
they
for you guys
translated
to
them
win a
into
trip
these
to Gamescom
gorgeous
in Germany this August.
models.
All you have to do
Are they
is
doing
come
that
play.
with like
photo
prequel
scanning?
games? Yeah, they do like
That's
a
not
photo
asking too
scanning.
much.
Are they doing
And
that with
you
the
have to be the best
prequel
player in the
games
match.
as
You
well,
guys
and
will be
continuing
entered
to
win
use
a trip
that
for
technology?
Cologne, Germany, and a full pass to Gamescom.
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, they
there
had
are
access to
plenty
all the
times.
props
It's
and
one
all
of the
the
most
design
ridiculous
work and all that stuff that,
ever, if you happen to
Lucas
go.
has.
It's
So
insane. It's massive. So you're not. You're if you don't get the trip, you're going to be really sad. But if
yeah,
you
it was
get
all
the trip,
CG.
but-
So you know what? That probably helped these guys
Hopefully
because
I'll
those
see you there.
assets exist.
Well, if you guys like Star Wars
Right?
like we do and you guys want to play as your favorite heroes and villains, you guys can download Star Wars Galaxy
I mean,
of Heroes
No, they would have
right
been
now on
4K.
Yeah, back then they
would have been
future
4K
proofed.
for the
Play
for
as
the
any of the iconic
for the big
characters
screen.
that you guys saw today and many more. Paul, I also heard that you're
Was it?
making Battlefront 2.
I think they were 4K even
I'm
back
sure
then.
they shot it. Had to shoot.
I think it was 4K was the
day since
sort
it
of
launched.
decision maker on
I've actually
going
spent
to
about
digital
$1,000 in that
and
game.
shooting digital.
I do have
Attack
a
of the Clones
problem.
was
There's just so much Star
to
Wars
shoot
in
it
it.
because the first Phantom Menace was still shot on film.
Was it?
That's why I still like how Phantom Menace looks till this day. But 2 and 3 is when they started going kind of crazy digital.
Right.
At Christmas.
Ever, huh? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Their
busy.
first big budget movie.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here. Stay tuned.
Do you
to
think they will
Battlefront
stick with your
2.com
party,
for
join
more about the
a game, want to join, or a change up is needed? Farimer.
And now I'm gonna send
Do you
it
think
over
you
to
still?
Patrick for more.
I don't know what he means there. From like the PlayStation front end.
Yeah,
kind of thing, or
what
from
he's
the-
asking about is the
everyone.
party system. So
And
Battlefront
thank
had a very
you, the
unique
real
party
rock
system
stars
where you
of
had
the
to
show.
actually join into
The
like a
development
PlayStation
teams
party or on
inside
Xbox. You
EA.
had to do
You are
a
truly amazing.
Microsoft party, and you have to do it through your UI,
okay.
and then it kind of
Now,
showed
we
these little
can't wait
icons at the top,
for
and
more of you
anytime
to
one
play.
of the people
And
joined a
there's
game,
more
everyone
coming.
else had
Stay
to kind of
tuned
accept
online
this
for a
person
closer
in your
look at
party
some of
joined
our
a game. Do
biggest
you want to
Okay.
do it too? So it was
And
a
remember,
very
EA
weird
Play is
system,
for all of
Right.
you,
and
our
very
players.
unique.
Thank
But
you all for
hopefully, they
joining
kind of
us.
it wasn't terrible,
Now,
but it
let's
wasn't
play.
amazing either.
My thought is they probably heard every criticism and they're going to try to address every single thing to make you happy.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's Vic's favorite game, guys.
No sound.
No
Why
sound.
why does this
Yeah.
curse Patrick Sutherland?
Yeah.
Why does he
Yeah,
always
this
have
is-
games that don't have
Yeah.
audio?
No.
Oh, he's always on stage.
No.
This is this thing. He's like
someone backstage hates Galaxy Heroes. Star
Oh
Wars,
my
yeah.
God.
Oh man, why would?
There
you
it
go,
is.
There you go.
Oh man, Patrick Sutherland is just
Guys,
going to be
we
like
are much
busting
more.
chairs
We've
and
never
stuff.
had audio issues
No,
on Electric Playground. We are more professional.
We
than
know
that.
all about audio issues.
At EA
Oh,
Play.
let's white balance
we're here
this
to talk to you
thing.
today about Star Wars
Bring in
Galaxy of
exposure,
Bring in
Heroes.
exposure.
Your exposure is way too hot. Come on, bring it in.
Grand Admiral
What do they
Thrawn.
got to do? They got to
Today
change
I'm
their
joined
f-stop?
by Cassandra
Yeah.
Gomez, community manager for Galaxy of Heroes,
Right.
also known as
Oh,
Caleb
those glasses
from
looking
Humanity.
slick.
Yeah.
And Daniel
I like
McLaren, lead designer on Galaxy of Heroes, also goes by Not Really a Jedi.
It's true, I'm not actually a Jedi, but I am excited to be here.
But
So-
enough pleasantly, it's not pleasantries. I want to get into it. I'm excited with just the Empire rework and the Dark Side Rising. We're bringing it to the culmination of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I want to know more about him.
So before we get into it, I think we have a trailer we're going to show you guys. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Get hype, Vic. Woo! Everything we wanted right here.
I have friends that are completely addicted to this game. I don't have time to be, but I think it's cool that this
You
is
tell me
all
you're not.
free
You
and-
don't poop when you watch play Galaxy
No,
Heroes,
no,
really?
I poop and tweet.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of tweets.
Yeah,
Vic.
yeah.
That's a lot of tweets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it's cool.
There he is. You guys have seen him for the first time here at EA Play. So
Is this the very last thing
Cassandra,
that they're
what's
doing for the
community-
conference?
are
This
they
can't
excited
No, they
about
can't be.
Thrawn?
They have to have
No.
something. They're gonna end
Community
up
has
with
been
something
in
bigger.
a Rebel season.
don't
They're
believe it.
ready for Empire Dark Side season. And they want to know about Grand Admiral Thrawn. What can you tell us? And most importantly, The community wants to know, how can we wreck faces?
And that's awesome because Admiral Thrawn is one of those characters that in
I've heard this
the
game is a
universe,
blast.
He's incredible.
Does
I mean,
anybody
he's
play this?
the
Does
guy
anybody
that was
that's in the chat room
He's defeated everybody.
play this?
He's the only alien allowed in the fleet at this time. So bringing that to design and bringing him in, trying to figure out how we were going to make him, that was the real challenge. So we spent
Mindscan wants to know who the hot girl
what are the
was that was
kit
presenting
design
Battlefront 2
pieces
earlier.
that we
She
need to put
is the
together
lead actor in
to
the
end
game.
up
She's
with a guy
playing.
who
Don't get too
was
excited,
killer
my
in
friend.
PvP,
All right.
who could
Vario,
do
what's
very
her
well
name?
in
Yeah, I
PvE,
don't-
but
I
ultimately
forgot.
still
Yeah, we'll all
functions
know her name
as
this
a
fall,
beast
but
inside Rage. So-
she is the actor
how
that they
is he a
scan to
beast in
put into the
Rage?
game
Tell me
and
more about
does
this
all the
cleanser. I'm
performance.
hearing rumors of
And it
cleansing.
looks
Yeah,
great.
so
what her
he is
story
the
will be.
first
I wonder,
Empire
you know,
character
if
that brings a
we'll get to a point where we
cleanse
might see
to
her in a
Empire
Star Wars
allies
movie.
only.
I mean,
He has the
they
ability
probably
to
have to
not
think
only
like that,
cleanse
right? They got to
himself,
cast
but a
one that
targeted
way.
ally as well.
I mean, I'm
But
surprised
he
there
has
isn't.
something that's super unique that we've
well,
never done
I
with
guess
any
they gotta get
character
through this
before, and
range
that
of,
is that Admiral Thrawn
you know,
brings a special ability
big Star
to
Wars
every
movies
Empire
before
only
they start
ally
talking
in
about a
the
Star
team.
Wars TV
that
show,
ally
but
will
there
now
seems
have the
to be
ability
this,
to cleanse their
you
own
know,
debuffs,
ripe
and in
content
doing
to be
so, allow
building a
themselves to
live-action
manipulate their
Star
own
Wars
turn
show.
meter.
We don't
Thrawn
want to
then
oversaturate
manipulates
it
other
too, and I
people's
think that's
turn
why
meter,
Disney's not
and
really
inside
thinking about
raids,
TV shows
that
and stuff
functionality
like
has
that yet.
changed a little bit. So, for example, he might do a speed down or a speed up on somebody and then later apply ability block buff. Total nerd here, but he then, when you take that into a raid, he says, I no longer do that, but I apply a defense down instead, and it's unresistible. So a lot of functionality we've added to him, made him very strategic. One other thing that's super cool
This is
he has the ability
Star
to take his own
Wars,
turn meter,
This is your favorite
completely
Galaxy
get
of
rid it, apply it to
Heroes.
somebody else,
We're getting into
and at the same
minutia.
time, messing with their
Why couldn't they let
defense.
Jose do
Yeah.
this, man?
Yeah.
Super excited.
Well,
I'm
no,
super
I'd like that they're getting developers to do it, but they
need to do the interview.
They need to think about it in terms of it's an entertainment
he's incredible.
piece.
We're very
You
Jose
know?
would have made some sound effects, some pew pew pews, you know, like some a little bit
You're
of.
right.
You know, he would have.
Yeah, where is Jose? I guess he's doing like Twitch stream stuff.
go
He's
out
probably
and
doing what
back-
we're doing
They're holding back our
members,
boy
they
on
are the
Twitch
people
right
that
now.
you see in
Well, no,
the
I thought he
show
was part
with
of the
Thrawn.
EA.
They are-
Yeah, but
their
he's probably
primary
like
protagonist.
squared away
Or,
interviewing
I'm sorry,
people. That's
primary
true, that's true,
antagonist.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
so,
was about to say, wait.
yeah, he's their friend, best friend ever. So you'll take your Phoenix squad, you'll go in, you will fight Thrawn, and you will be able to acquire a Thrawn, up to a 7-star
This was
Thrawn
a
through
bad
the
choice.
participation in this event.
Yeah, it's too long.
We're really
Come on, guys.
So, yeah.
Look
All right.
at those
Well,
iPads set up in the
that is
background.
our. Actually, when can players get?
Yes. So Thrawn will be available June 15th.
Yeah.
In, like I said, traditional legendary style event. We're super excited, so you got plenty of time. The game is set up for
Like,
you right now. We've brought all the Phoenix members
Roll
into
footage
the game. They're
of what he's
completely
talking
accessible.
about, right? Like,
So
cut
go,
to something.
Get them ready to go. Thrawn will be there. Like I said, everybody's really
Show
excited.
us something.
We're-
Wow.
Awesome.
Entertainment.
So next week, you're going to be able
Farmer
to
is
get your hands
absolutely
on
right.
Thrawn in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So that concludes our EA Star Wars portion of the show. We're now going to throw to Need for Speed Payback. I believe we've got an awesome trailer. So, all right, thanks everyone.
Okay.
I'm gonna end it off with a Need for Speed Payback trailer.
We were a crew, and she left us with nothing.
This is the trailer that they just showed this week?
A week ago.
Getting close to him. I'll take care of the rest.
That was not a good way to end. If that can't be the last thing. The last thing you think? Really?
There's something much bigger going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had Patrick on stage just before that.
Hey, Matt. You built this all yourself?
Mattel is saying last minute switch. Could be. They could have had something else slotted in here.
No, that's the future.
Like, we get this, man. Like, we know that this is a slick looking Need for Speed game.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited for this too. Should have just had Vin Diesel in it, man. Vin Diesel would have could have been jumping and punching cars to stop them and stomping the floor and
Well, remember they had the
Would have been a superhero.
Hey, what's going on, guys? We're here at EA Play checking out Need for Speed Payback. I got two devs here with me, and we're going to be checking out some gameplay and some customization. I'm here with Will Ho, who's the creative director on Need for Speed Payback.
That guy's amazing.
And Bryn Albin, who is a vehicle director on Need for Speed Payback.
You just know everyone, huh?
Well,
like, why don't you just?
He's awesome. He was on he was at United Front Games for a long time, but he worked at Black Box on Need for Speed stuff.
Vic can probably tell you guys about everyone's family, of everyone who's been on stage and their history of being a game
Will is a good dude. We actually shot. I've known him forever, but we had him, I think, out in Toronto. Jade Raymond interviewing him and Cord about another racing game. I forget the name of it.
So we're going to jump into the highway heist.
Where all kinds of destruction was happening, and then we had all kinds of stuff happening down the street in Toronto, and they were dodging all kinds of carnage, CG carnage. But then he worked on Mod Nation, and we did a bunch of Mod Nation videos with him in his house, showing people how to create and share and all that stuff, which was cool. Super cool dude. He's super psyched about this, too. I'm a Facebook friend of his, and he's super proud of what they're building.
You should be proud.
Right? The house is this evil cartel.
Do you want to kind of go do a little breakdown of the stream? Should I put it down?
Yeah, let's.
Or I can just go full screen on this.
Yeah, let's do a little full screen, and we'll pop it back to anything new that might show up.
We'll let you guys know if there's anything great on stream, unless there's anything good coming up. But let's do a little bit of a breakdown of what kind of happened. Obviously. Kind of started off with Madden with the drummers on stage. We saw the Madden 18 story mode, the career mode. They're calling it Madden 18 long shot.
Yeah, nothing on NHL.
Nothing on NHL, which is very surprising.
Yeah, which is weird, right? Like they brought back NBA, but they didn't show anything on NHL. You know? And that's a franchise that it doesn't have the budgets and doesn't have the fan base as some of the other ones, but it's always been a very revered franchise, so it's disappointing that there was nothing on NHL at the conference.
I'll put the gameplay for you guys in case you guys want to see the gameplay, but I did mute the audio of the stream, but we're just going to kind of do a little debrief, the debrief portion.
But the Madden stuff looks cool. It looks like the right way to go. I think that sports games do need story modes. I think that we need to have a way in. It looks like they're going for a Friday Night Lights vibe.
Yes, I think Madden was a good one to start it off with before NHL too, especially with all the American fans, and I know NHL is huge as well. But it's good to test. I think with, like you said, Friday Night Lights sort of story. There's a lot of stories about Madden players on the come up, and there's a lot of success stories and things to play off.
Where was Tom Brady though? Like honestly,
you want to see the.
I mean, this is entertainment, right? Like you want to have stories about these conferences that you take away, and you go, "Oh my God, did you see what's his face was there?" And it doesn't always pay off, and sometimes the costs are prohibitive, and the celebrities aren't that great, and they're uncomfortable up on stage. But they had the marching band. And it's probably the authentic band from the New England Patriots. But where's Tom Brady? And that's what everybody would have been floored by.
That'd been good.
Yeah. But the game looks great.
It looks good. I actually really want to try that out. Up next, we had the Battlefield 1 developer come up. He showed us the community reel. We had the DLC. The Lupco Pass, which is coming in September. And there's the name in the name of SAR DLC, which is the single player campaign coming out. It looks great. I don't know if they exactly needed to show it, but I'm glad it was just like didn't take up too much time. I don't know if the community reel was needed, but I know Vic likes that stuff a little bit more than me.
Well, I like the I like seeing it from putting myself in the developer's shoes in that kind of situation and recognizing how much fun people are having. I think is incredibly important for these guys. And it speaks to that entertainment thing that I always want from this stuff, which I like.
That's a great franchise. There
is a bit of a formulaic kind of quality because I did it again with Battlefront. But you know what? I liked it. I feel like once again it's not enough hype, not enough big budget, like, oh my God, did you see that at that press conference? Like, this is something that stopped traffic. Lots of people have flown in for. They put a big deal on. It's right in the Hollywood. It's right in the heart of Hollywood. This press conference today, and I feel like they could have gone bigger with the stories coming out of this. The games look great, but when you put on a press conference, there needs to be that extra layer of things. A little bit
of that extra right?
Yeah. So what else did we see today?
After that, we had the two guys in the jackets.
Guys
they showed off, talked about FIFA, did an esports highlight reel, obviously promoting their FIFA little pro tour that they're doing a great job with that, but we'll see where that goes in the future.
Yeah, well,
that
took
was
up
quite a bit of time.
Way
actually.
too long.
Yeah, it just
on
took
FIFA.
up. That definitely was a big negative point of just they could have done all of that in less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
After that, we saw Need for Speed Payback gameplay, which is what we're looking at now, but this is more actual in-game stuff. But it was a bit of a trailer with more in-game stuff. Game looks terrific.
Yeah, it does.
Fast and the Furious-esque is one of the games we were looking forward to most prior to this press conference actually seeing. And here it is, guys.
And they need it to be, I think, in the face of competition from Forza Horizons, which has become excellent.
Yes.
They need it to become story-based, and they need it to become aggressive, which is what this game is looking like.
It is.
It's looking more like a combat racer than anything.
And that's the great. I think it was so smart to kind of look at something crazy like Fast and the Furious as kind of a stepping stone to be like.
Yeah.
Because when you think Need for Speed, you don't think the simulation authentic games, right?
No.
You think arcadey, drifting, doing this crazy stuff, taking down cops and playing cops and robbers. And I think this is a good direction for it. It should feel like a Fast and the Furious film,
Yeah.
And I think this is a great direction because 2015 felt a little bit too much like the Underground series.
Yeah.
And it just the whole nighttime thing just put us down.
Somebody's asking about the looks like the Run 2. Yeah, good comment, Johnny McFly. Yeah, I remember that one too. Need for Speed the Run. But somebody said about FIFA on the Switch. They should have showed that. We know that they have taken out features out of the Switch. I'm going to be checking that out though, and I'll do a hands-on report from the show floor next week and see what FIFA looks like on the Switch. And then I think what I probably will do, because obviously FIFA and NHL are made right here in Vancouver, is after E3 I'll coordinate with EA to go and visit the teams and get some stories on what's new with the new games.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I'm sure during the Nintendo's Direct, we'll probably see a little highlight reel of FIFA running on the Switch.
Yeah.
And we'll see all the sports games that they're working on. I'm sure that's coming. So right after Need for Speed Payback, we had A Way Out, which is the game that we are probably looking forward to the most. This is the Prison Break game coming out in early 2018.
That was
looks
honestly
fantastic.
That apart from our the obvious
Star Wars hype.
Yeah, and the Nirvana of the beautiful visuals and all of the like this amazing sort of product demonstration of what Battlefront 2 is.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing at this conference was A Way Out.
Yeah.
I wish there were a few more of those, like real, genuine surprises.
But these are the risks, right? These are the risks that I think EA can only, talking from their investors and their business side.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're even taking these kind of risks. Obviously, they don't want to take too many of them. I think the one that 2 years ago we talked about already, Mirror's Edge, was one of the risks already.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and do one every other year. But those are the types of experiences that we are waiting for. And right?
And honestly, gamers want there to be more risk, because in that risk, there is ultimately going to be some reward, you know, and the new franchises will be born out of that.
This is kind of the dark side of the game industry, where at the end of the day, there's money to be made.
Yeah.
And there's probably risks have not been having as much reward, but like you're totally right. This is how you discover new IPs, right? This is why we applaud Nintendo for releasing something like ARMS and calling it something new instead of calling it Punch-Out, is because we want new experiences, we want new IPs. We can't just be having sequels for the rest of our lives.
No.
After A Way Out, which looks like a terrific co-op game, they talked about EA Play for a bit. Quite boring.
What was it? Seed?
The Seed, exactly. It was all that talk. It lasted about 5 to 10 minutes or so.
We weren't really paying attention to that.
No,
but it was about technology, and they showed some screenshots.
Yeah. Shortly after that, though, was back to the good stuff. We had BioWare's new IP titled Anthem, which they showed just a teaser of, which we'll see more during the Xbox press conference on
tomorrow.
Monday. Oh, tomorrow. That's right.
That's first up tomorrow, and then Bethesda is tomorrow as well.
That actually looks really solid. A bit of Titanfall elements in there, but they have these suits that you get in, and it was really, really interesting. What do you think?
It looks amazing. And it's going to be a game where there's been some difficulty, obviously, getting Andromeda out to market. But boy, I bet that BioWare company and that those teams there. So much more experience now with Frostbite and with.
Here's hoping.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you go through the fire. You become stronger, and transitions to new technologies are always challenging. And they, we know that it was BioWare Montreal that worked on Andromeda, a big chunk of it. And there was also a lot of people that left and new people that kind of took the reins at BioWare. So now, having gone through all that with a lot of the core experience that they have at BioWare proper, we should be excited.
And we gotta also expect a strong story from this thing. This is BioWare we're talking about, right?
We have a lot of expectations, and that is one of the things going up against BioWare is that they have such an amazing track record, and their games have rated so well and have been enjoyed by so many people at such a deep level that we can't not have those things, and that's a tremendous amount of challenge. And so they. But I think that they're up to it, and I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. 2 or 3 times. I think every developer has some stumbles along the way in their story, and Andromeda is one of those stumbles. But you don't give up hope on a whole company. Because
what are the chances for you? Do you think that Microsoft teamed up with EA or BioWare to make this an exclusive?
It won't be exclusive.
It won't be exclusive?
No way.
All right. 0% chance from Victor Lucas. I'm giving it a 5% chance.
No, it won't be exclusive. Unless, and this is the new rumor that's floating around, it's something that I suggested for Xbox Scorpio, it's that it's a PC. It's a PC machine.
I mean, you could just look at the UI of the every time I turn on my Xbox One and I use apps like VLC and all this stuff that I have right on my PC, like Xbox One already feels like a PC machine.
Well, if this new one, if Scorpio is a PC, if they brand it and sell it like that, and it can run Steam and all of that, and through EA Origin.
Don't even get started with that. Running Steam on that would be amazing.
Well, that's what they should do. I think, right? Like, why bother trying to keep these 2 product lines designated and separated when they could clearly just clean up, and just put a PC under every television out there, or lots of televisions. It wouldn't make a lot of old school Xbox fans out there. It's cool.
What are we looking at? I know it looks awesome, but it's
like
crazy how much you can do.
Mod Nation learnings right in there.
So right after Anthem, and we'll see more on Xbox press briefing. They brought back NBA Live 18.
That was a surprise.
That was a surprise. I actually didn't expect that. I thought they gave up. Because 2K is just doing better and better every year.
Sean O'Brien took the stage. Now this is a guy that worked on college hoops games, and he's worked on NBA Live for a while. I think he did some Madden
would have been
Tour of Duty as well.
They should have taken all this money, and I know that you commend them for trying and to bringing those back. But this was the perfect opportunity to do Street. Just being like, I think. And I know this is not good to say, but I think EA should have threw in the towel with the simulation basketball game and said, you know what, you guys are doing this well. We're going to kill it with NBA Street, with FIFA Street, and we're going to bring these things to the Switch. It just would have been so much fun. They could have.
They stand to win, though, if this game puts up a fight against 2K in this year and sells enough. They can't stop again. That's my thing. Like if they stop making Live, they're doomed.
But this is the second or third. They stopped 2 or 3 times.
I know, but if they don't come out every year from now on, but now they have opened that door to win because they own Jam. They own the rights to Jam, and they own the rights to Street. And so they can go back to that, but I think this is their opportunity to own the whole damn thing. And that's why I think that if 2K doesn't create a Street-like or Jam-like experience within their game, they actually have a real challenge now.
But they should have done it earlier. I think this was their opportunity. It's like, we're going to step our foot in this early. And it's just like, the longer they wait, and 2K has more of an opportunity to take that space again, and that is going to suck for EA.
So clearly that was the whole conference. We're looking at a rewrap. There's, how do you say it? Mahershala Ali? Mahershala Ali.
You got it.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali.
I'm here for you.
Incredible actor.
Yes.
And I think that is Scott Porter. Yeah, he pulled into a Madden game. Incredible.
So shortly after,
why wasn't he on stage?
Yeah, he should have totally been. That would have been a fantastic.
Well, I mean, they had the guy that was the lead in FIFA on stage before they came out with their story mode, and he was too intense and didn't smile, and he was in character, and it was like we're in a stage play version of it. There it is, Scott Porter. He is in there.
Nice.
Okay,
Oh, look at that.
That's
Is
cool.
that a Titanfall little stand in the back? That's so cool. You see
Yeah,
that?
it is.
That is so legit.
Yeah.
That looks great.
So that's cool. Scott Porter is in the thing. So did you watch Friday Night Lights?
I did, yes.
Yeah, he was the quarterback that was paralyzed.
So he is one of the...
Yeah, he's in the game, which is a nice tie-in.
That's a great way to bring it in,
Yeah, he's a rad dude. Super cool guy. Super nice guy.
So shortly after NBA Live 18, we went to the Battlefront 2 story mode. The main actress, I forget her name. We both forgot her name. She's the lead actress of the Battlefront 2 story mode.
Yep.
She came out, talked to us a little bit about the features and the fact that we are getting free DLC. For the whole year. I'm sure there's gonna be microtransactions, and you might have to pay for a little bit. But this is a great.
Hold on, I think we're losing Kev Gret right there, and he's just saying, "Thanks for doing this. It was great to watch with your thoughts in real time." Thank you. Thanks to everybody for watching us today.
Yes.
This is awesome. But yes, I do think that there will be DLC. There will be microtransactions, but. I think the industry is scaling back. I think there's been a lot of ways that they've learned and a lot of ways where they've been burned. And people have come away kind of pissed off, and there's been this groundswell of understandable skepticism and anger towards publishers and developers building games like this. And I've seen it even in my work. I've had people comment under videos saying, why do you even talk to developers? They're all liars. And that's just shocking to me, because they're not. They are crazy, Don Quixote like people that are chasing windmills and all they want to do is build us something that entertains us. And
they might be PR trained, but they're still human.
They're passionate people. They're human people that believe in this stuff, and we got to hope for the best and believe in them. Is that guy
I think there's the main actor.
Oh, the main actor just walked up
from the long shot. Yeah.
That's awesome. But it sounds like there's been so many lessons learned from Ubisoft, from EA, that people are pulling back, and that's exactly what has to happen. The other thing that has to happen is that barrier to entry price point. I say this every year.
Lower.
Has to be lower. Yeah.
I have some friends who are, inside. They work at EA, and they've been talking about EA. They've been looking at the numbers, and they're seeing that they don't want to separate the audience, the player base through DLC, which happens with so many games, so many shooters, especially. Like I purposely drop shooters after a while because. The player base gets so small. It's only the real small hardcore that continue to buy this DLC. So we see this with the future of Titanfall right now. With Titanfall, they're releasing all their maps and everything for free. But there are microtransactions and colors and different cool little things to buy, and that's how they kind of keep afloat. So they said that the Battlefront 2 story will...
They're sharing a mic.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you want to put this up?
Because he doesn't have a microphone.
You want to listen to this?
Sure. That's why David stopped playing Battlefield 1. It's like paying $80 for a fighting game like Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, fair enough.
Any compelling story has those components. So that's what the story said to me, if that makes any sense.
It does. My guy. Let's get one of these right here. Oh, selfie mode. Appreciate that. No, but now we're sidetracked, but again, listen, a good sidetrack.
We'll continue.
Yeah.
So bring it down for you guys. So it's going to bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and I think A New Hope, did they say? Or did they go all the way to...
No, Jedi to Force Awakens.
To Force Awakens, wow, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's 6 to 7.
That's right.
And there are flashback sequences as well. So it's actually going to go all the way back to all eras.
That's awesome.
In the single-player story. So it's tying it all.
That's amazing.
So I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but I forget her name, but she's going to be meeting all kinds of... central figures within Star Wars lore in this storytelling across all three prequels, which is pretty rad.
So shortly after the story trailer, which looked fantastic, we went to, as Vic likes to call it, the little esports section of it, where they showed us some, they had some shoutcasters. iJustine was there. And they were doing like a 20v20 form of just a match to show us some gameplay. Looked like a lot of fun. The gameplay for the most part looks the same. There's a class-based system. They added a few new games, like you can aim down
all the
sights.
actors in Madden here.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
That John Boyega come out and say how much he loves it. They even showed John Boyega's tweet before they showed the gameplay of all the eras.
You know what though? They're in Hollywood. We know he's got to play.
Yeah.
Saturday night they can't take a dark night. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, he's on stage. It's legitimate. I guess a video is the best that they could do.
Right. At least we got
You know
that.
what, though? They should have done like a Star Wars hologram. They should have spent the money to make you know, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope kind of, you know, John Boyega hologram sequence.
Yeah, you got to hire this guy to do your press conference.
Like, seriously, make it something unforgettable. That's the chance that every one of these press conferences has.
Yes.
And you have to come up with those nuggets because they all blur. These games are sequels. You know, the experiences blur. And, you know, if you are orchestrating this stuff, make every one of these things a special thing. Make it like there is so much money in this right here.
Yeah.
That we should be walking away with 5 amazing moments from what they produced here.
Yeah.
And we're not. And that's tragic, you know? That sucks. And I hope that the rest of the pressers scale to that, you know? I hope they hit those marks.
So Battlefront 2, back to it. After we saw the gameplay, they did say, obviously, the game, we knew the release date. I think it was like November 17th, I want to say, but somewhere.
The 14th.
Oh, the 14th. Thank you. See, Vic's got me. But the beta is coming in fall as well, so we're going to probably expect it maybe a month or 2 early, maybe September, October-ish, which we can't wait for. It's going to be great. So that was it. That looked a lot of fun, and then they ended it off with Galaxy Heroes DLC, which was not, I don't know if they didn't really announce that the conference was over. I think that was actually the end of it.
This was pretty weak. This was a pretty weak press conference. They had some good games. I'm not taking anything about the games or saying about this is as a show. This was pretty lame.
This was weak, but you know what?
This is cool stuff here. This should have been on stage. You know?
Yeah, it's for sure. But you know, when we watch stuff on stage, we get so tweaky. We're like, "Where's the next game? We want to see the next game." When they kind of dwell off and talk about a game for too long, it's never a good sign.
Fair enough. But I know who Scott Porter is.
Yeah.
He was in Friday Night Lights. It's one of the most prestigious and most loved football storytelling entities that exists in popular culture.
Yeah.
He's passionate as hell. He's a good spokesperson. He's animated. He's energetic. He's got pictures of him with his kid, you know, in the mocap thing. He is so psyched to be there. Why don't you tap into that? Why don't you throw that excitement up on stage?
He should have been the person who came up on stage and presented the game.
Something.
That's
right?
That's how I would have done it.
Yeah.
You know? The football fans
or
would have
the
been
lead
right
actor.
away.
I mean, look at how happy. Like this guy's wasn't even on camera. He walked up and put himself on camera.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know.
They could have done better on that end. But I mean, you said it's a weak conference for sure, and the long spectrum of things.
Not embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. Not even close. But in terms of EA press conferences go, it's a little bit better than what I'm usually used to from them.
I don't know. I think there's been some really solid Peter Moore ones. I think there's also been some ones where like when they revealed Mirror's Edge and they revealed Unravel. I even like I like this sort of behind the scenes video content that they put together around the Criterion multi-racer thing that they canceled, and also the Star Wars stuff, which they, before they really had a lot to announce, they just those were all aspirational and exciting, and this was something that you could kind of predict most of the moments, and I mean, it just was a missed opportunity. It should have been, if the companies are going to do everything that they can to have their own special day, it's incumbent upon them to really make them a memorable special thing. I even think last year's EA Play stuff was a little bit more exciting because it was new.
It was, yeah. I remember like 2 years ago, I think it was a 2 year ago press conference, or 3 years ago, it was just absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
sometimes they just, they don't have enough stuff, so they kind of prolong this sports stuff. I mean, the sports stuff they showed, at least for me, other than the FIFA esports stuff, was quite interesting. Like, I thought the Madden story mode was terrific. I thought, some of the things they went into there were quite fun. And I think NBA Live, frankly, was actually kind of cool to see, even though I wish they went the street direction either. Let's go to some of the stuff that...
Hold on, I got a couple comments here. Hit us with all caps on a comment or a question, though, okay? Make it easier for us. Mr. Brockarock saying, honestly, I don't think that EA doesn't need its own conference. I've thought that for the last 3 years now. I'm kind of in agreement with you, especially if they're not going to make it something really memorable and special. And I often think this of the Ubisoft ones. I'm not just trying to play hardball here on EA.
Yeah.
But what they could be doing because obviously Sony and Xbox and Nintendo used to, I miss your Nintendo press conferences.
I do
Nintendo.
too, man. I do too.
But there is an element there where there's a huge amount of investment and all the eyeballs on there, and I just feel like there could be more partnership with those companies to build moments that are incredibly electric, you know, because they still have to do that too, right? Like we're getting Anthem in the Xbox One, and we'll probably get Battlefront 2 in the PlayStation 4 one.
Yeah. I imagine we'll see something.
And so that's just a split of focus and a split of things, and you know, I just want the E3 noise to be irrefutable, so that more people pay attention and more people are excited.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's fair.
That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Because I mean, at the same time, though, it's nice for some of the smaller games like Mirror's Edge to kind of get the spotlight in a conference, because things like that we won't see on a Sony or Xbox press conference. Maybe you'll see a glimpse of it. But, it's nice to see some focus on some games. Like it was nice to see some focus on Battlefront 2 as gamers.
Yeah.
You know,
and I guess I would turn those other conferences into 3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think that's why they're kind of fun, but at the same time,
they just got to be more entertaining.
They do.
I mean, they just have to be more
gotta
entertaining.
Understand.
Why doesn't the PS4 have EA access? Leaf Fan B is asking. PlayStation 4 puts all of their transactions through their own account. That's what they've tried to do, is to streamline it so that there aren't multiple levels of user and credit cards and stuff being associated with stuff. I think they're trying to kind of do a similar thing that Apple does in the iOS infrastructure, is they own that whole sort of interface there.
That's why they wanted to do PlayStation Now and stuff like that. They wanted to have some form of competition with those kinds of forms of software.
It might evolve and change. I think that it's working out. EA Access is working out really well for Electronic Arts. They're making that monthly revenue, and they're using their archive in some interesting ways. It's a good, I mean, honestly, there's so many effective ways to not spend lots of money and get lots of gaming these days. And that's one of them. Comment, on the plus side, I really like the 2 new IPs and the non-sports stuff that got me excited. Downside, sports stuff took too long, and no talk of the Star Wars action game from Visceral.
You know what? I agree with him. Totally is just, I feel like everything that wasn't a lot of sports stuff was interesting. Like in terms of EA press conferences go, this is somewhere in the higher tier, but an overall press conference of what we expect from one. Obviously, it's
here's another actor that
subpar.
I thought wants to be on there.
Everyone's trying to become a Hollywood legend here. Just trying to get their camera time. This is Hollywood.
Ryan McMillan, do I think 4K is worth it? I think it's worth it if you really want that bump in resolution and you're ready to get a new TV. But if you love your 1080p and you're still happy with it, there's still lots of great 1080p content.
I have a 4K TV at home. I love it. It's amazing. I'm not as crazy as Vic about it. But at the same time, if someone were to ask me, is this worth like a $2,000, $3,000 investment? I'd say you can wait.
You can still,
totally wait.
And the more you wait, the better the options are going to be for you, for sure.
So a great question here. I believe it was from Eddie M. Says, would you love to see Dead Space make a return? Yes, of course.
That was on your
on my little list here.
Your wish list.
On our little pre-show, which actually we should get more into, of things that we didn't see, which we wish we saw. Obviously, Dead Space was on that list. I mean, a wishful thinking one was Skate and the SSX series, which would have been fantastic if there was just a little glimpse or some form of hope for those franchises. No Return of the Street series. I was getting a little cheeky with the Mass Effect trilogy. Little dream to kind of see those on next gen hardware.
No SSX, no Skate.
But on our list here of what we were likely going to see, we actually got almost everything right here. We got.
Which is the problem, right?
Which is the problem.
A Way Out becomes the only thing we weren't expecting.
I mean, on the way here, I was just kind of brainstorming. Like, what do we see in a basic EA conference? And it's usually, they throw in some good games in there, but they obviously kind of mix in sports games here and there. So it was like Need for Speed Payback gameplay, Madden story mode, which we saw. A bit of.
Hold on, we got a counterpoint to the 4K.
Okay.
Ryan Radersma has a 4K 55-inch Vizio 4K for $350, refurbished.
Is he from the States?
Well, it is going down.
It is going down.
That's the thing. Now, I bought an LG OLED one, a 4K TV, and I freaking love it. And one of the reasons why I love it, and it surprises the hell out of me, is that it has 3D built into it, and the 3D is unbelievable on the TV.
Yeah.
And they're phasing that out. And so, they're not building 3D in any of the TVs anymore.
Wow.
So it might be worth buying an older television if you want, because I have some 3D Blu-rays and some 3D games. And they actually look amazing when you have that pixel density that you have on an OLED screen like that. Look, more actors are joining. They're finding more people in this.
The reason why I mentioned the $2,000 price range is because I included, you have to buy a Pro as well if you don't already own a Pro. So that kind of adds to the cost.
And a new receiver.
And a new receiver,
and
exactly.
An AV receiver that handles HDR and 4K, which I bought a Denon one and I love it. And it was only $600, which blows me away.
Oh, nice.
Like the amount of quality you get because the technology just gets less expensive. It gets better and less expensive.
Honestly, for $1,000, you can get a really solid 4K TV if you just wait for the right timing. You can get some really, really good stuff there.
50-inch UHD. Now we're doing like a home shopping 4K right here, which is good. Osmond, take a question. Is there anything at E3 that you don't want to see? Something you'd just be disappointed to see have time in a conference?
I mean, if Nintendo talks about FIFA more.
You don't want to see that?
Well, I would want to see it in a highlight reel. I don't want them to take time and to just spend 10-15 minutes talking about FIFA on the Switch. I don't want to see that.
I mean, there are certainly, I'm not a big fan of The Sims. I feel like that franchise just got beat to death with all of the upgrades and that there's just the relentless amount of Sims stuff. And I just felt like they beat a dead horse with that. So I'm actually grateful that that didn't appear here, but there aren't that many franchises that just piss me right off.
Exactly.
You know, I'm open to it, especially if there's an effort made. You know.
Yeah. The only thing I just don't want is back to the point of just talking about things that we know so much about. You know, like I think it was great that they spent so much time on the Battlefront 2 gameplay, but if they're showing off, the sports title or something that we all know and love already, too much of, it's never a good sign. So it's very hard to hate. It's very hard to hate certain game franchises or anything. There's nothing that I really would not want to see. Because I know there's always fans for every form of medium out there. So.
Yeah, totally. Rumors about the Scorpio price. I would suspect $500 US.
Yeah, they're not gonna do $599 again. I'll tell you guys for Sony. I mean, they're not gonna. Nothing past 500, I think, looks good anymore.
Yeah, and it might even be 400 in the US.
Yeah,
it might even be.
Technology is only getting cheaper as these years and months go by. Making the stuff is getting cheaper, right? Like, what is the PS3 selling for now? $250 or PS4? Sorry, is $250?
For the Slim, I'm not sure.
I mean, just like if you were to get the original model, which I know they're not going to make much of anymore, but if you were to go to your local game store, you can get a PS4 for like $250, $300.
Well, I think the Pro is probably going to be down to $350 US or $299 US.
We'll talk about this, We'll talk about this in our
in a fight against Scorpio this year, right?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about with PlayStation, though. There's a lot of predictions there.
DM asked, what did you guys think of the new game A Way Out? That looks fantastic.
Yes. Probably one of the best looking thing. I mean, aside from our Star Wars fandom and nerddom, that was the coolest thing.
That was a great surprise. Yeah, very nice surprise. One of the best things that they showed us today, for sure.
And it's great. You can't leak games like that, too, unless the whole trailer was leaked. If we knew about the game's title, it still wouldn't tell us anything. And it was a really terrific surprise to see a split-screen co-op game, guys. Plus, do you know how hard it is to get a split-screen game these days?
Plus, the developer was fantastic.
It was,
yeah. He was just so passionate and into it, and he was hyped. That's how everybody that takes the stage should be for us. The lady that handled Star Wars also came off like that.
I love seeing Vic's review, guys, on people's stage presence. It's great. You can tell that he's been picking and choosing EP hosts for many years. It's like, I'd have him on EP.
No, honestly, like you want people that are genuine, are have an ability to be articulate, but more than anything, passionate. And fired up and excited that they get that opportunity. Do you think that the host being YouTube up-and-comers like I, Justine, and Jesse was a good idea? I know Jesse was nervous, but is this starting to feel like a pandering to people watching? Mr. Brockarock, I think there is some danger in some of that for sure. I think that there is a lot of blurring of lines with you know, paying presenters to be presenters, and you know, I'm from this era of having an editorial distance, you know, and having a brand that was about covering this stuff, and it's blurring. All of it is definitely blurring. It's a new world right now. But every one of those people is like their own company.
They are,
right?
Of course. Yeah, that's the great thing about YouTubers. It's kind of like their own entity. They have their own audience.
Yeah.
Now, Jesse he's a great YouTuber, and he does vlogs and things like that. He started off doing this BF versus GF channel, and it was a surprise to see him, but he's the last person that I think of when I think about video games, and because he doesn't do Let's Plays and stuff like that. He may have in the past, but that's not what he's known for.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't feel very genuine kind of having him on that stage, in my opinion, but he's a great dude. Really nice, gives people good advice. He was clearly nervous, which is, it's difficult. You know, there's a lot of people watching, and you know that. And he had a teleprompter that he was clearly relying on.
And it didn't look like it was agreeing with him.
They need to be careful. EA needs to be because even last year when they did the whole Battlefield 1 stuff, and they had Zac Efron up there, and they had Jamie Foxx, and they had Terry Crews. I mean, Terry Crews was awesome, and Snoop Dogg was hilarious, but you can tell Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx, they just weren't taking it seriously. They were totally high, like out of their minds, and EA just needs to be careful. They're just throwing this money around, but they need to understand that we're smart as viewers. We know when things are genuine, and you know, they gotta not undermine our intelligence.
Yeah,
I think that's my feeling.
It's an interesting dilemma, you know, because the whole media landscape, as we know, is completely different than it has been, and you know, a lot of people just look at that as a business decision, and they partner up with these companies, and they become spokespeople, but it's also where a lot of the work is. And we have two colleagues of ours that are working, like Jose is working. There he is, right there.
Let's go, Jose. Oh, yes.
Perfect timing.
Jose. This is what I've been waiting for.
And Marissa's working with Xbox, and you know, like it's part of what's happening in the world right now.
Creative director. Yep. And the lead gameplay designer, talking about a brand new FIFA, guys. Now, last year, FIFA 17 blew the world away. How
Should
are
we
you guys
score
doing up
Jose?
in Vancouver?
Let's do reviews on the run on Jose right now on his performance. I better hear some sound effects, or he's getting a 0.
Right? We always want to bring the best game to market.
Well, he started with
last year was a massive
That's
year
true.
on many
That's
levels.
true.
It was the transition to the Frostbite engine, which was huge. It sold over 21 million copies, so a record year across the board.
Not bad.
Not bad.
21
not bad.
mil, you know.
And then obviously one of the biggest things was the introduction of the Journey and Alex Hunter, who in just 1 year has become one of the most famous names in all of football. So an incredible year all round.
I mean, we had the Men in Blazers on stage.
We did.
So hyped about Alex Hunter.
There he is.
But it's not just Alex Hunter, obviously. I mean,
Jose's great. They need to just have Jose be more involved.
That looks way better than that statue that was at that airport. That looks actually like Cristiano Ronaldo. But bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo, what is that experience just to kickstarting that experience and making it happen? How did that feel once it all culminated into what it became in FIFA 18?
Let's say, well, first of all, it was an awesome experience working with the best football player in the world. We went to Madrid a few months ago to motion capture Ronaldo, and we're putting his animations in the game.
Yeah, he's
so
good.
he's basically helping us create what it is the biggest leap in the history of gameplay. So that's quite important for us, special attention in gameplay this year. So there's so many new features that I want to tell you about gameplay.
The thing that I always find about
the player, the
FIFA,
teams,
and I've given
the dramatic
the people I've interviewed shit before, is
first of all, we have a brand new animation engine.
They always say that this year is way better than last year. Last year sucked. Yeah, that's what they have to do every single time.
Were we covering Jose's face? I'm sorry, guys.
We were?
A little bit, because we're in the top right.
Oh, okay.
So just a little bit.
Every single frame for the human
you guys can find more Jose at
EPN. Of the players is very
Jose is. Oh, we are totally covering him.
Oh, hold on.
Responsiveness,
I got this. Oh no!
Wait. The entire feature set is about those three things: responsiveness, fluidity, and personality. For
no
personality, as I
problem. We're gonna
mentioned,
get
we're
full
putting
screen
Ronaldo
Jose for you
animations
guys.
in the
I
game.
promise.
And now if you look at him, he runs exactly like Ronaldo. From any camera, you will recognize him right away. We also have the tools that allows us to personalize the movement
Passion,
of players,
man,
like
that's what it's all
Sterling,
about, and I am incredibly proud of Jose. I would love to be working with him more. We are going to be working with him on the floor.
There you go. Here's full screen Jose. None of us for now, all right?
There we go. Very nice.
You will
Look
see
at
all those
Jose's beautiful
characteristics in the
face,
game,
guys.
and
We
have
love
also
him.
6 new
He streams pretty
archetypes,
regularly. You guys
for
should
more
find him and
personality
show
for
him the
every single
love.
player
Yeah,
in the
he's
game.
amazing.
So before all the players
According to
would
reports
share
and
the same
specs, the
animations
Switch
for
doesn't
running.
run on
Now there's
1080p.
the
Can
medium
you
for short, medium,
confirm?
and tall player
Can I
with the
confirm?
skinny and stocky options, so
I think some
everybody's
games
gonna
do and
have
some
more
games don't.
personality in the way they move.
With the
Then
Switch, it
there
upscales
is,
to 1080p.
the dribbling overhaul.
It's definitely
This is my
not the
favorite.
horsepower
Dribbling is
machine.
so much
It doesn't.
Yeah, the Switch. But Nintendo's never been the horsepower.
That's not the game they're playing.
Yeah,
You know, we streamed some ARMS. You played it. You told me in a text that that's the game that's making you really want to Switch right now.
Yeah,
it's an excellent game.
It's great.
You know, and it looks beautiful.
It looked, you know, before I saw a lot of the Switch on the full screen, I heard a lot about frame rate issues and little things like that.
Yeah.
But when we played ARMS, it's running smooth as butter.
Mario Kart looks incredible. And Zelda does have some occasional graphic hitches, but it's so epic that you don't really care. You know, like you can kind of understand that there's a lot of world there. But yeah, the Switch has been impressive as hell. It is definitely not. It's not a PlayStation 4 portable. It's not an Xbox One. It doesn't compete visually with the Pro or anything like that. But all of the stuff that it can do in the modes that you can play that machine in, impressive as hell. It's a great system. We all are fans of it here. Jose's pretty regular. Streams pretty regular. GameCube was a beast. Yes.
GameCube was fantastic. Please, if Nintendo announces Virtual Console for GameCube, good lord, it's gonna be.
Alex Wright, people do own the Pros without a 4K. I think Johnny Millennium, the Happy Console Gamer, hasn't made the 4K jump.
Oh, he doesn't. I
But
thought he did.
he's got the Pro and he's got it hooked up, and it does make a visual difference.
We're back. We're back for you guys, by the way, on screen. All right. You guys can now see Jose and us together.
Comment from Brock Rock. Although this was talked about, what do you guys think of EA giving free access to EA Access this week? Brilliant. I mean, that's the kind of cool stuff that they can do with the subscription services out there. I love all of that stuff. I love that there's now that Xbox Game Pass, and likely we're going to hear something similar coming from Nintendo soon, and something from PlayStation, which could probably just pick up on what they've been doing with PlayStation Now. You probably.
If they, I don't know if they're ready to make that jump yet, but I know PlayStation Now has not been doing best.
No.
In terms of sales, but if they incorporate Plus with a PlayStation Now system where there's like an elite package where you can pay an extra $20 a year to get,
that's what it should be.
That's what it should be.
It's like $20
Absolutely,
a month
yeah. Because
right now.
PlayStation Now is, I mean, a promo for a year is like $100. That's like the cheapest you can get it for a year.
Yeah.
I think normal price for PlayStation Now is quite expensive. I mean, even $100 a year on top of the Plus, that's a lot of money.
It is.
It's a lot of money. And considering it's not that stable in terms of you're streaming these games and it's not always looking the best. It's a lot.
The Ole song, but replaced with Jose. Jose. Yeah, that's good. Alex Wright, wish they had some bundles on offer for the Pro. E3 is a good time to announce stuff like that, Alex. Let's see what we have. A question from Farmer. Do you think Sony will have a handheld system like the Switch? I don't think they're going to do it this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Switch keeps doing as well as it does for both Sony and Microsoft to say, well, why wouldn't we do that? You know?
I mean, and Sony arguably has some amazing IPs to, kind of contest the Switch to. And I know Zelda's doing
Expert Gaming's asking about Xbox doing a Switch portable as well.
I don't know.
Or a Switch Xbox. Yeah, I mean,
it's doable, but I don't know if Xbox can succeed as well if Sony did it.
Would you guys all want one? If Xbox and PlayStation each did a Switch version of their consoles, tell me in the chat right now whether you would want that. I would, because I would want that like crazy.
Yeah,
be nuts to carry 3 game systems everywhere.
I know Vic would too.
Vic would
take all 3 of them with him.
Bigger satchel.
I'd pick one. That's it.
I missed the conference. Did they mention any Star Wars VR music, Mathieu? No, they did not, and that is a fail right there. You see, they should have done that too. They should have had they should have had Star Wars VR lifting off on what Criterion did. We should have had a full X-Wing game this year. Maybe we still will. You know what? I mean, if Scorpio is going to do what we think it's going to do, that would be the place to announce that. So we might get that tomorrow. Jose looks so pretty. They did a great job with his makeup there, huh?
Jose's always looking pretty. I don't know what you're talking about, Vic.
He's always looking pretty.
I don't know what you're trying to say, all right?
Let's see. What do we got here? What do I think of the HoloLens? I checked it out a couple years ago when they announced it. It was pretty cool. But it wasn't as cool as I checked out the Halo demo. And it was pretty cool, but hopefully the newest iteration will be even better. Do you think the PSVR is still building or dying slowly? David Chapman, I think the PSVR is absolutely still building. It's still hard to find, and it's still selling, and it's a very accessible way to jump into VR. I've just been playing Farpoint and Starblood Arena. I'm going to have some streams and some reviews of those games, and they're impressive. They're definitely cool, and the Star Trek one.
Star
as well.
Trek, yeah, that's right. We gotta totally see that.
Yeah,
because I know Johnny was talking about it on his channel.
He loves it. Yeah,
and he loves it too, and it does seem fairly complicated. I can't lie. I was watching a bit of gameplay on it.
Yeah, no, it's
so you're gonna have to go through those tutorials.
Farpoint's a pretty cool piece of software.
Is it out yet officially?
It's out. I've got the Sony sent the gun controller.
Oh, nice.
And so I was sitting there playing it.
We gotta stream this.
We're definitely gonna do that. Yeah, I want to start streaming. I think some VR stuff, on a more regular basis for sure.
Yeah.
Because not everything's working. It's still got a lot of kinks to get ironed out, but it's pretty cool. And I was impressed with the gun controller. It actually does feel like you're targeting at different people, and it's got force feedback in it and everything.
Was it everything you wanted from the Wii?
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you right now, the game isn't great, but the shooting mechanics are great. It's like one of the best light gun shooter type experiences I've ever had. It's pretty damn cool. Eddie Mick 18. What other companies do you think should have a press conference? I would personally pick Sega. I don't know, man. I feel like I get a little conferenced out.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I only want more companies to do press conferences.
Come on, Vic. We all know you want to see Konami do another press conference. Let's go.
Only if they're entertaining, like don't waste people's time, right?
Yeah.
They have to be great, and but I guess it's a challenging thing when you're inside of these organizations because you've got this fan base. You know how many people are already your customer. How do you have a celebration around that stuff?
Yeah.
And they got to do it. Like the Destiny one that we were at was actually really cool. They actually did a pretty good job of getting the fans and the media really hyped up for the sequel for Destiny 2.
That was a good way to reveal it too, I think, as well. Was just, do a little event, a celebration for all the fans. Yeah.
But it's surprising on that same tip why Activision isn't having its own press conference. They have, 2 or 3 or 4 of the biggest brands in games, and they're not saying, look, we need to pull off this whole thing and broadcast to the world.
But like you said, I think it goes back to the point is like I think Activision might be smart and know that people might be conferenced out, man. Like there's a lot of conferences. Like you could argue, and it's a valid point, that EA maybe doesn't need one, although it's nice to see some of their reveals and to get some of these smaller and new IPs get a bit of limelight. But there's a lot of press conferences. And Devolver Digital is having one this year, which is a fantastic publisher.
Yeah.
And released some of my favorite games in the past 2-3 years.
And WB's having a digital stream thing as well.
Yeah. So it's the list is only growing.
Yeah. I mean, I like them. I think they're cool. I want them to be good. I just want them to be
talking about
like the press conferences.
Of course.
I want them to be beneficial for everybody.
At the end
not
of the
just
day,
the corporation, but for the attending media and the fans out there, but also inclusionary and bringing more people because these events are media things.
They're media things, but David Jaffe one day said it best. He called E3 the Christmas for gamers, right?
Yeah.
And essentially it's that. This is the one time of year, the week where we just get announced everything that we want in the gaming industry. And this is where people really get excited and celebrate. I feel like it's a celebration of the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And that's most important.
Clearly, as these games become and these companies become more massive, a lot of these companies could pull off things like their D20, the Disney D23 events, where they have like a 3-day conference.
They do their own thing,
or a weekend type getaway kind of thing. Oh God, not these guys again. We don't need to hear any more of these guys.
Oh, we've been muted for a little while.
All
That's
right.
fine. Yeah.
They, you know, like I thought about the Activision, like an Activision presser when we went to. Let's turn this down. When we went to the Call of Duty. Where is it? There it is. When we went to the Call of Duty championships, it's like why wouldn't they put on a whole Activision event and then show all of their games from the past and
That's
all
true,
you know, have the developers come up on stage and dig into the history and then talk about all the new stuff that's coming, because they have their BlizzCon events, which is amazing.
Yeah,
but why not wrap it all up into like one big Activision weekend? You know,
that's a great point. Actually, I never thought of that. It is a little crazy that they do, you know, just
and
one.
EA could do that too.
Yeah, they just do it all for one game. They just make it a Call of Duty event. They have these little training camp things.
I changed something here. Let's fix this behind us. I just noticed. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, we can just have it behind us. It's all right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I mean, there's some rumors and some crazy rumors. I don't know what people are talking about, the Atari console. I don't know what this is, but I mean, you know what? With the resurgence of like the NES Mini, and we've been seeing even the Retron 5, which was a little company by a company named Hyperkin. They've had a lot of success with these little retro-esque systems that can play everything, or they have like this flash storage in them that has this crazy catalog of games. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you know, you've said it a lot of how Sega should do like a mini Dreamcast or something like that, and just have a, you know, I wouldn't be surprised with anything at this point, you know.
Yeah.
So that would that'd be terrific to see. I would love to see Sega actually get into that market more than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's the challenge of having a company that has to have like margins, and they've got to sell the new stuff, and they've got to always be looking forward. And the companies get big, and they don't really have time to you know, look back and think of interesting ways to sort of build up a whole new business line that way. And you kind of wish that they would, you know, you kind of wish that like Electronic Arts could totally have an incredible weekend that's not just about selling us all of the features with the next thing, but, you know, roundtables with past and you know, future developers and some of the celebrities that have been associated with some of their products over the years and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you want to see most is that Nintendo and Sega partnership, like just a full-on part. I mean, I think that would be great for Sega, as crazy as it sounds, but that would be so terrific for their brand to have, you know, all this Dreamcast stuff on the Switch, on the go. Yeah, that'd be just amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think we got to. We're going to be saying sayonara until tomorrow pretty soon here, but maybe we'll do let's say 2 more questions or comments or anything like that. Just put them in caps for us and we'll read them out. NES with a blast processor, Joy Owen is saying. I actually, if they do the Super Nintendo console, which we all hope they do, the mini Super Nintendo, I hope that it also has all of the NES games on there too.
Oh, as well. I don't know.
Because they killed that. They killed, but they're just emulators.
They're just emulators.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome.
But yeah, if they do a Super NES, that would sell even better. I would argue.
Faramer has had lots of good questions. We're going to give him one of the last ones. What do you think Ubisoft needs to change to bring fans back to their games and have trust in their direction?
Oh, that's great. That's a great question.
They are. Look at this terrible angle. They got just people milling around in the background. This is so bad.
Okay, they're behind us now anyway.
But they're selling. You know, like Ghost Recon was a huge hit. I don't know how what's the
For Honor sold well.
Did it sell
I mean,
well?
all their games sold well. Division
Steep probably didn't sell that well.
Yeah, Steep I don't think did too. Division even sold well.
Yeah.
The thing that Ubisoft does so well is they do a great job generating hype for their games and generating an excitement, and they do make good games. You know, we always talk about how they're one of the very few publishers who take these big risks. You know, they take these risks of games that no one else, you know, has the balls to do.
Yeah.
And For Honor was terrific, but now there's reports that it lost 95% of its player base because they're not giving these games love and support. They're not giving, like, For Honor was crying for dedicated servers. It was crying for patches faster. It took about like a month and a half till people saw the first patches for the game. And that's way too long with how fast the game industry moves today. And you know, I still, and I love Ubisoft and I applaud them for making such, you know, great games, but they just suck at supporting these games and you know, really talking to the community closely. Like For Honor, one of the best games they've released in a long time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they were just took way too long with talking to the community about it. And you know, people will drop games. You know, great stuff comes out every month.
Well, they learned a lot from the last Rainbow Six game, and I think that's been a big influence on the way that they're looking at their business going forward. Ghost Recon, I think, has been a financial success for them, but more than anything, I think it was a risk to build a world that large, and they're going to learn from that process. But they are almost in competition with themselves, with their Far Cries and their Assassin's Creeds and their Ghost Recon. You know, they have so many open world experiences. Their Watch Dogs, and I don't think Watch Dogs was the success that they wanted.
No, I don't think we're going to see a Watch Dogs game for a long time, sadly. Because the second game was fun.
I think they're making good games.
They are.
They're not making games that are better than everybody else's games by a wide margin. Like I was kind of disappointed with Ghost Recon.
Wildlands,
I liked. I mean, it was beautiful, but it left me bored after a little while.
I totally agree.
But For Honor, I thought was pretty cool from what I played, but it didn't sink its teeth into me. I didn't want to finish the whole thing. Far Cry, there were too many quick iterations of the thing. Assassin's Creed, there were too many sequels.
Yeah,
bang, bang, bang.
They need to. Well, the Far Cry series is even Primal. I know was a lot of fun, but I think they got to separate the games and celebrate each sequel more.
I think Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins in Egypt after this break, hopefully it is a reboot for the way that they make Assassin's Creed, you know, and it's less about how do we nickel and dime through microtransactions
and these little expansions,
and the story isn't so completely all over the map. It's because the Syndicate was actually a pretty clear story. It was I think it was a much more sort of streamlined, you know, it was a good game. It just came on the heels of too much Assassin's Creed.
The boldest thing Ubisoft can do, and I know that this would, you know, make some people sad, but it would actually give me a lot of kind of respect for them. Is you know, if they came up on that stage and just said, we're going to remove the multiplayer and we're going to focus on the story. Like we're going back to what made Assassin's Creed
that would be huge.
Such a fantastic series. And I know that makes some people sad to hear, but that really shows that they're focusing on the single player experience.
You know what though? One of the things that I love about Ubisoft, and you could say this about For Honor, and you could say this about Ghost Recon Wildlands, is their risk in the business all the time. You know, like they're a good company to work for. We have lots of friends that work over there, and they love their jobs. They love the morale, the feel of working for this company, and I think that's wonderful.
And you can see that too.
And you can see it in the games,
I could feel that whenever I see Jason Vandenberg talk about For Honor. He says, "This is my dream game," and I totally believe him when he says that.
Yeah, and you know, not every game works and is as successful as they want it to be or we want it to be, but I love the quirky, you know, sort of like we love this business kind of attitude. You know, the Rabbids, the Beyond Good and Evils, the weird King Kong game that Michel Ancel made. Like, I love that. I love that they experiment, you know, like even Rainbow Six just continuing on and just being awesome, you know.
Wildlands was such a different kind of take for the series too.
So I love the uniqueness of Ubisoft, and I don't want that to go away. I just think that they need to make some games that, like Assassin's Creed 2, you know, caliber, or Far Cry 2 and 3 kind of caliber, that are just irrefutable. Like the whole business goes, oh my God, do you see what they're doing over there? Right? And that's kind of what we need this year. And I'm really hoping that Origins is that game. And we'll see about Far Cry 5. I have some reservations about Far Cry 5. But we'll see. But this is a fantastic question to, I think, end the day with. This is from Eddie MC18. Your rating for this conference?
Are we saying a conference just overall as all press conferences? Or are we saying rating for, you know, in terms of EA press conferences?
Out of all conferences.
Out of all conferences,
just like we would rate you know, just
right?
not just based on previous.
I think
EA.
for EA this was good, but for you know, for what we expect from a conference,
EA and Ubisoft and Bethesda are all saying we want to have our own day, we want to have our own moment, we want to have a press conference that stands with, you know, the big daddies, the ones that have been going, like PlayStation has been putting on a press conference. This will be the 23rd PlayStation press conference.
That's crazy,
right? So that's what they want, and that's how they have to be pitted. And I think that this was a pretty weak press conference. I think that the day is cool for them. They own the whole day, and here we are still going into the Battlefield 1 DLC, which is great if you are like feverish for all of this content. That's great. But in terms of what they delivered in the press conference, I thought it was a pretty weak one. You know, the Battlefront stuff was excellent, and a Way Out stuff was excellent.
Way Out was great. Yeah, and I mean, I was happy to at least see BioWare's next game too.
Yeah, and Payback looks great too, but it just all could have been delivered with a lot more fun and passion and surprise.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah, I don't think I hated it as much as you, but I
didn't
overall,
hate it.
Yeah,
but it was weak.
Oh, out of 10, I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, that's about where I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
I didn't hate it, but I give it a 6. Yeah.
All right. That's our little review on the run. On
EA's got some improving to do, and of course we're going to wrap all of everything up. It won't be Behr and I, but it'll be after, because I'll already be in Los Angeles by that point. But it'll be with Steve Tilley and Ben Silverman, who's one of the faces in the crowd over there, and Jose, who's actually working at the event.
Yes.
And we'll all get together and do kind of a wrap-up of the whole thing. But many more press conferences ahead of us, a lot more streaming to do. We hope you'll come back tomorrow. We thank you all so much for being here today. You guys kick ass. And it was very fun, and I get to go home, which is awesome. And I'm not going back to a hotel. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, guys.
See you tomorrow.